Welcome back to the Name Redacted podcast, America's most beloved podcast, the most downloaded Red Sox podcast in the world. Happy flight equals happy podcast. That's the motto from here on out. Happy flight equals happy podcast. And I used the term happy flight the last time that we recorded a podcast. People were confused. Like, oh, if you don't win the series, that's not a happy flight. Yes, it is. The only it doesn't matter what place you're in, doesn't matter what the series was, as long as you win the last game. In baseball terms, that's a happy flight. They just want to get on the plane coming off a win. That's all a happy flight means. In this particular case, Peter, Jake, it's pizza party time. It's pizza party time because both of you correctly, I don't even want to say bravely, because it seems in retrospect, I didn't realize how fucking terrible the Rangers were. I thought that they were like somewhat okay. You would think that you could spend $500 million on a couple players and they would at least win a game. They won no games. And so I want to acknowledge first Peter and Jake correctly predicting a 4-game sweep. Good job,
Thank you.
guys.
I appreciate that. I wish we could pull the tape, because I distinctly remember when I predicted sweep, you were like audibly gasped. You were like, "What? I know you don't watch. I know you're not a 162 guy, but whoa!"
What was the last series?
The one where they won the final game. Who were they playing? Fuck.
The Twins?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm very hot and cold to this team this year. But I think what's very interesting, and I pointed this out, me and Pete went to the game together today. One of the things that I pointed out about the Red Sox, just sitting there watching some baseball at good old Fenway Park, if they win their next game, they're back to 500. We're not out of this thing. They're back to 500 if they win their next game. Listen, there's a path.
It's possible.
A path. Yeah, it is still mathematically on the table. Right now, their playoff chances are at 1.8%. Is that up from the last time that we checked?
Yes,
it was under
up.
1% last time.
It was 0.4% last time?
0.4 on BREF.
Tyler, come on.
Listen, I'm a numbers guy. I'll tell you, that's definitely a higher number than 0.4.
That is blasting up the likelihood charts. They're above 1%. They're almost at 2%.
Listen, and the Red Sox like being hot and playing well, that's the most important thing here, because you just got to win series. Alex Cora told you that. But do you realize how dog shit the Red Sox luck still is, even after winning 5 in a row? Mariners have won 6 in a row. The Orioles had won 4 in a row before today. The White Sox won 4 in a row. No, the White Sox won 4 in a row before today, and the Rays had won 5 in a row before today. They if those teams had just sucked or even been like up and down over that stretch, you're not trailing a playoff spot by 7.5 games.
I feel like I'm just like witnessing brain worms in action. Just you guys slowly tricking yourself into believing in this team.
I'm not tricked.
Listen, hey,
this is not
no one's saying there's no tricks. We're just saying it is mathematically possible.
It is.
It's a simple equation.
And it's more mathematically possible than it was last week.
Way more.
Facts.
Like, way more. What is that? Like 4 times as much? 5 times as much? How did you do that math? 1.8 divided by 0.4? 4.5 times. 4.5 times more likely to make the playoffs than the last time that we did this podcast. 4.5, Tyler.
You're 1.8. Where did that come from?
ESPN. I don't know what they use.
I will just say, to put some context here, Fangraphs has it at 2.
Whoa!
That's bigger than 1.8.
What the
538? I know 538 is also at 2% now.
By the time we finish this podcast, it's going to be the Red Sox making the percent.
Likely.
By the time we finish this podcast, it's going to be up to like 96% somehow.
I mean, This is just a fact. The Red Sox are 5 times more likely to make the playoffs tonight, than they were the last time that we did an episode, which was, what fucking day is it? We did it on Thursday?
Yeah.
No, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. 5 times more likely to make the playoffs. They're basically a fucking number 1 seed. I mean, come on. This is crazy.
We're talking about the best team in baseball in the month of September.
I mean, not
Undefeated.
even close. I don't even think that, like, here's another fact for you. It is mathematically impossible to be better than the Red Sox in the month of September.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have a couple theories about this. There's a lot of different things we have to talk about in this show. But the Red Sox being the best team in baseball in the month of September, the Red Sox having 5 times better chances of making the playoffs today versus the last time we did a podcast. But also, Trevor Story being back in the lineup. Triston Casas making his big league debut, which is its own thing we can talk about. I think that, like, there's something to be said about you are what you are in June. You're one of the best teams in baseball in June. July, you suck. August, you suck. There's a bunch of injuries in between, a bunch of bad vibes. The Chris Sale thing, bad vibes all around. Bad vibes. And then you kind of get to September, and yeah, like, the Texas Rangers suck. No doubt. Like,
Pathetic,
no doubt. Texas Rangers are a very bad baseball team. I was actually contacted by a Texas Rangers fan who said, please, if you could, limit the use of the word pathetic as much as you possibly can. Because being a Texas Rangers fan that listens to the Name Redacted podcast, I'm sure that this is going to be a tough listen for you. But I will promise, I'll promise to limit the word pathetic. And actually, Pete was singled out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pete
I
was singled out
used the word
specifically.
pathetic about 7 times.
He's right.
The past. I mean, 7 is probably putting it lightly.
I mean,
I hammered the word pathetic this weekend.
let me see. Let me see what the exact text was. I just want to make sure. Because
I'm going to roll through my tweets and just see how many times I tweeted pathetic about
Probably a
the
lot.
Rangers, because it was a lot. 1, 2.
Can Pete be limited on the use of the word pathetic to 12 on the pod? Please and thanks. You have 12 pathetics to work with.
Starting now, because
Starting
I didn't
now.
know that I was capped.
Yeah, you're capped at 12. Starting now. But I think that there's something to be said about how bad it was in July and August. And then everyone's kind of just like, Patriots about to start. Fucking Red Sox are toast. Maybe they're just like, we have nothing to lose. We're getting guys back. We're getting guys healthy. We're calling guys up.
6 times this weekend, by the way, I tweeted the word pathetic.
Those don't count towards the cap.
Okay.
So, anyways, I think that there might be something to that. And I mentioned this off the air, but I'll withhold names. But there are people in that clubhouse that think that they can do this. There are people inside those walls that are like, well, if this happens and that happens, and that happens, why not? We just got to keep grinding. We just got to keep winning the series.
You know how there's like I don't know, like, it's got to be like an economy thing, like we are the 1% or whatever people say.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 2%ers, the people that are still in on the Sox making the playoffs.
Pete, and you'd think that I'd be one of them, right? Like, you'd think that I would be one of those 2%ers that is like, I see the vision.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I mean, I am one of those fucking people. I am one of those fucking people. I see the vision. And honestly, I think it has much less to do with sweeping the Rangers in 4 games and more to do with hearing that people inside there are like, let's fucking do it. Why not? Why not? I mean, the answer to that question, why not, is because, as we just mentioned, no one else is losing baseball games. Like, You have completely, and I don't want to say punted because punted would imply that it's entirely your fault. It's not. I mean, like the fault of the players. You do not have the benefit of controlling your own destiny. You are now just hoping that all these teams in front of you are going to lose. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. But there's a path. There's a path.
If the Yankees can lose their 15-game lead and it turns into 5 games, luckily it's 5 games after, that umpire today had to throw them a bone for them to save that game. Why not?
That's true. The Yankees should have gotten swept. They lost the first 2. They had runners at Tampa. It was 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Runners at second and third. And it was a full count to Yandy Diaz, who got ball 4. And the umpire was like, you know what? I want to fucking go home. And he rung him up. That was it. I mean, if he loads the bases, Clay Holmes is a fucking bum, by the way. He's a bum. Bad pitcher. He can throw hard.
Alex Verdugo broke him. Verdugo broke him.
He can throw hard, but so can Pat Light. That doesn't mean shit. So, yeah, Yankees probably lose that game. Now it's down to 3-2 in the loss column.
Yankees are just lucky that they have one good player.
That's it.
For now.
They literally only have one good player, and his name is Aaron Judge.
For now.
That's why, I mean, we have this debate way too much on Baseball's Dead. I'm actually going to announce tomorrow on the podcast that the Judge Ohtani discussion is suspended until November. It's suspended. I don't want to hear another fucking word about it. But if I had a vote, I would vote for Judge just because he's going to get this bum-ass team to the playoffs. They don't even deserve to be there. Like that, I'm not saying like you have to be on a playoff team to be the MVP, but I'm saying that everyone on the Yankees sucks except for Aaron Judge. So like they're going to the playoffs simply because of him. Like Shohei Ohtani did not single-handedly get the Angels to the playoffs. Aaron Judge is single-handedly getting the Yankees to the playoffs.
Yeah, like you don't have to be on a playoff team to be the MVP, but if you drag a team's lifeless corpse to the playoffs single-handedly, you're probably the MVP.
That's what he's doing. Yeah. Right.
Right.
So that's my case for it. But I'm not going to talk about it on that other podcast because, man, too much of that. But not enough DraftKings Sportsbook. Simply not enough, especially now that it's football season. The first Sunday of the NFL season is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving new customers a can't-miss offer to celebrate the return of NFL season. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. And as an added bonus for week 1, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. It's simple. Bet on an NFL team to win. If your team leads by 10 at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. All you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code Jared to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet this Sunday. That's promo code Jared, Jared, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the National Football League. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. Jake, some people, not me, some people might say, well, Jake says sweep every series. So he shouldn't be able to take a victory lap when he hits on one. I disagree. Because I know that deep in your heart, you believe that pick with every ounce of your being. What was going through your mind as the Red Sox were closing out that 4th game of a 4-game sweep against the Texas Rangers on Sunday?
I mean, first of all, every pick is independent from every other pick. So
right.
None of them have anything to do with each other. So if
Correct.
I feel sweep that week, I pick sweep.
And you don't always pick sweep. That's factually incorrect.
Yeah. I pick opposite sweeps a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I was feeling pretty good tonight. I knew Pete and I had it right. It was just a money pick, and this team is going to make the playoffs.
Thank you. I think so too. I mean, there's definitely a path. And I think the Red Sox have proven that if you just keep winning games, the likelihood of making the postseason increases. That's just a fact. 5x in between two podcasts. It's crazy.
Can I ask you this question? Would
please.
you say that like a sweep is relatively uncommon or rare in baseball?
4-game sweep takes some work.
Yeah, I would say 4-game sweep is
Yeah, of course.
not super common. Yeah.
Like that classic 1-game sweep that the Red Sox had over the Baltimore Orioles earlier in the season. Yeah, that's more easily achieved. I do want to point out, Jake has correctly predicted a sweep 7 times this season.
Yeah, he has.
7 times. So like, you can say Jake picks sweep every time. You'd be incorrect, factually incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
But when he picks sweep, there's a pretty good chance there's going to be a sweep.
Mm-hmm.
God knows what he's talking about. 7 correct sweeps this season. That's hard to do.
I think that's
Jake, can I say something?
Go ahead.
You know ball.
I
You know
appreciate
ball.
that.
Mm-hmm. The lineup that the Red Sox put out, here's why I'm feeling so fucking light on my feet today. It was less to do with the 4-game sweep and more to do with when you saw that lineup on Sunday. It was just like, like this team, like, hey, maybe there isn't a path. There is a path, but maybe they don't follow the path. Okay, fine. Maybe they don't make it to the playoffs in 2022. Okay. But that 2023 Red Sox team, you can start to see it a little bit. You can start to see how they're going to score a bunch of runs next year. And the other thing too, they didn't hit any home runs this season. One of the worst home run hitting teams I think I've ever seen in Red Sox history. They still score a fuck ton of runs. They still score a lot of runs. And I think if they just decide, I mean, it's not like they don't have home run hitting guys. It's just the guys that hit home runs just didn't hit home runs. JD, fucking Bogaerts, and even Story. I mean, Story was hurt. I mean, he hit all of his home runs in like one game. But Tommy Pham leading off. No JD in this lineup. Verdugo and right. Bogaerts at short. He'll be back. Devers at third. Trevor Story hitting 5th at second base. Hitting 6th. Triston Casas. Ref Snyder, who I love, by the way. I started to like tweet something out. And I was like, I don't think that this fucking makes sense and people are going to get confused. But I started on a tweet being like, if I was building an arc and the destination of this arc was the 2023 baseball season, I would give an invitation to Ref Snyder on my arc. And then I was just like, if I tweet this, people would be like, so you just say you want him on the team next year. I literally typed out this whole tweet and I was like, all right, dude, just save it. Delete it.
I think the way you framed it's kind of beautiful. I
thought
truthfully
so
do.
too. I thought so too. Like, if you're trying, because the whole thing with Noah's Ark, you're trying to save all these people from this horrible storm, and you're building an ark so that you can preserve the life on the other side. And the way that I viewed it was 2022. This was not the situation that we thought we were going to have. It's actually a very bad situation. So let me take some of the good from here and preserve it on my arc so I can take him safely to the 2023 season. And that's how I felt about Rob Ref Snyder.
100%. Like, you're talking about a guy who signed on a minor league deal here, who worked his way up, slugged at AAA all year. He has a 143 OPS plus this year. 143 over 1,000 OPS against lefties. You're telling me that guy who can play all 3 outfield positions, filled in at center field today without a problem. You throw him on a bench next year when you have someone like Christian Arroyo, who'd be an everyday player on a majority of other teams around the league.
Yeah.
Reese McGuire, who's hitting 350 since coming over from the White Sox.
Yeah, people don't talk about that either.
No, they don't. And
why?
say
Because
you
he
throw in,
masturbates?
listen.
Who doesn't?
Do what you need to do, Reese, because obviously it's working for you.
Yeah.
If he needs to jerk off, he needs to jerk off.
Everyone does it. Everyone 100%. By the way,
listen,
maybe
time
at
out.
home though.
Time out, Pete.
Maybe just shift to at home.
Pete. Time out.
mind your business.
I got into a heated debate about this over the weekend. Sex with socks on, yes or no? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't matter.
I would honestly say, if it
I think
helps,
it's weirder to take your socks out. Like, what if they're like, oh my God, your feet smell, and it's like a turnoff? Or it's like, oh, I don't like feet, put them back on. Like, it's almost like a courtesy to keep
if
them
it
on.
serves a purpose, like if it makes you more, if it makes you more comfortable, if it keeps because sometimes like your body heat escapes through your toes. Like if your toes are cold, it's hard to overcome that. So if you're keeping your toes cold and the rest of your body is more warm because of it, you need that warmth to keep blood flowing where it's supposed to be flowing to.
Yeah,
that's
I
a
don't
good point.
get why I don't like if I don't understand why it's become a stigma. Like if you keep your socks on, it's like you keep your socks on. The fuck? And it's like who cares?
I look at it as more of a grip issue. Where
Tyler's
Jesus,
fucking,
what are you doing over here?
He's
Tyler's doing
crazy
fucking like
shit.
acrobatic shit.
Depending on what you need to do
Jesus.
and whatever position you're in, if you're working with just socks, you're not going to be able to get a firm gripping with your feet to the ground or to the bed.
Grip?
Yeah, he's doing some wild fucking.
Tyler is over here doing like
shit.
his pregame fucking pregame routine. He's fucking LeBron James with the chalk, fucking throwing it up in the air before he jumps into bed.
Yeah.
Listen, anybody who has wooden floors will tell you of a time they've slipped while wearing socks. You never hear of someone slipping while wearing no socks. And that's all I'm saying
That's
here.
fair, yeah.
If you don't have socks on, you can truly plant and deliver whatever force you need to into whatever space. So like that's really, I guess, where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to personal preference. Like, are you more comfortable with your socks on? I think it's just more like, why do I need to take them? Like, what do you get out? Like, what do you get out of me taking my socks off? I don't know.
I just think it's more of a natural look. I think like naked with socks is a tough look or an unnatural look.
No,
I think it looks better if you're wearing black socks, but not white socks.
I guess to each his own. I guess I don't know. I wouldn't sock shame. I guess I don't know. It's almost like the stigma of wearing socks during sex is like you're like a weirdo, like you're a freak.
While we're on this topic, have any of you guys ever done like the stereotypical bust into a sock? Because that's always like the big joke that you've got like crunchy socks or whatever, and then like when you're a teenager you use a sock and that's what you
I'll be the first person to admit, when I finished high school and I really started cleaning out my room, I had to clean out a lot of things from underneath my bed. And I found
stiff socks.
Oh, I had a lot of stiff socks.
No.
And it was as someone who does not know how to do laundry to this day, I am not a professional laundry person. I had to put my mother through some really tough things.
Oh no.
Yeah, I tried to
just throw them out, Tyler. Buy new socks.
I remember I put a pile of them in the sink and I kind of just poured water, hoping that it would.
Whoa, no.
Listen, let me paint the picture. You put some water, it frees them up. You give them a little bit of no. It did not. It actually made it way worse.
Oh no.
I looked at my mom.
I regret asking about this.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop talking. You guys take over.
The answer for me was absolutely not. No chance.
Tyler's like, fuck you.
Me too.
Here's why
Me
and
too.
here's how. Yeah, no,
I'm an open book.
Yeah, I had too much respect for Ellen, who's done my laundry for my whole life, still does. Just picked it up tonight.
I've done my own laundry for years, and I still don't. I mean, it's not a laundry thing. It's just like, it doesn't seem
thing for me.
It's a respect thing for me too, but a respecting myself.
So like, are you just busting into a face cloth? Like, what is the idea here?
I don't know. It's usually there's a cleanup afterwards, not during.
Well, why the sock makes so much? Well, I'm not saying, listen, these are solo adventures.
I know, obviously.
But you use a sock to control the radius.
Why not just like a fucking tissue like everyone else?
Too weak. Like,
you use it like something disposable.
Unless it's washable.
Yeah, but why would you do that to yourself if you're the one that's watching it? Why not just something that's disposable?
That's where you forget. I'm not the one washing them.
Yeah, that's true. But that makes you a psychopath to do that to somebody else knowingly.
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look. You got to clean it up. Get it?
I'll own it.
Especially when it's your mom. Like if it was your girlfriend or something, like it's a little bit different because she's in that world. Don't bring your mom into that world.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah. What were we talking about before this?
I don't know.
Lineup. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Ref Snyder and then Franchian left. I mean, that's obviously not a real thing. And then Connor Wong behind the plate, who's been, I don't know how, like he's hitting 231 since he came up, but like, you look at the numbers at AAA and you compare that to, if you extrapolate them over to the big league numbers, one hiccup a podcast. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's just always one. And I don't ever hiccup any other time during the day. I'm not just like in line at Target, just busting out a hiccup. It's just like, oh, a podcast hiccup. Here we go. But yeah, no, I really liked today's lineup. And the X factor here, who would you say? Just one word answers from everyone. Who's the guy that when he's in the lineup, it just feels different, feels better? You feel better about the lineup when he's in there. Who's that one guy? I'm not asking you who the best hitter on the team is. Tyler?
Let me ask a question.
Sure.
When you say when he's in the lineup, so I just look and I'm like, okay, this guy's here today. This lineup's going to actually do something.
It's like the lineup just, it almost is just like, it's almost like when the lineup just like, you just feel better about it because he's in it.
I got an answer.
Who is it, Peter?
I'm going to say Trevor Story.
That's the correct answer, Peter. And that's why you're one of the top baseball analysts in the goddamn country.
It's true.
Predicting sweeps accurately. What, you fucking disagree, Tyler?
No, I don't. Listen,
it's a wrong time to disagree, Tyler.
It's
I'm
a
fucking
wrong
heater
time
right
to
now.
disagree.
Listen, I love Trevor Story. 13 for 28 since coming off the IL. He's doing it. He put on a show
baby.
today.
Hashtag toe tap.
Yes, that is a real adjustment. No more floating foot. It's working. He's shooting the ball the other way. All the respect. But I guess if you were to tell me, if I were to look at one hitter and say this guy is, pushes the lineup one way or the other, I'd usually look Xander or Devers. I guess that's more where my brain was going. But I do think Trevor Story, I'll agree with Pete and you. He is the guy who changed this lineup from, all right, the guys that are going to produce, to the other guy that makes everything, the whole lineup go to the next level.
Yeah. Here's why I pick Story. Is obviously I don't think he's the best hitter. You got Xander, you got Devers, like those. That's really like the key cog of the machine. But if you don't have the ancillary pieces, you're relying on those guys way too much to do everything.
Which is exactly what April and May were.
Right. And you only have one scary part of the lineup. If you have Trevor Story in the mix and he is an ancillary piece who is as dangerous and as well-rounded as he was on Sunday, like he fucking contributed everywhere. He doesn't need to be the guy, usually ever. But if he is that guy, you're fucking dangerous. And when there was like a moment today during the game where me and Jared were just sitting there and like kind of at the same time, we just like looked at the infield and we were like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like this is the infield.
Right.
You got Devers, Bogey, Story, Casas. And like that could be the infield. And I'll be honest, it moved a little bit. Like,
yeah.
It was the first time in a long time that I've been excited about this team. And it kind of goes back to like what we were talking about at the trade deadline, when like the team was sort of out of it. You were realizing that the playoffs were getting kind of pushed more and more out of the vision. And like around that time, what I had said was, I don't care about this team because I think this team's ceiling is like pretty good, maybe mediocre. I don't really care about what this team gives me for the rest of the year. I don't care like what you really do at the deadline. I want to see a vision for 2023, and I want to see it come into play over the final few months of the season. And this is the first time that I feel like we're really getting that. And it feels fucking good, regardless of where this team is in the standings, because you have something that you can kind of paint for next year and you can get excited about it. I finally feel like we're starting to get that, and it looked pretty fucking good to me.
I mean, sitting up there, looking out at that infield, seeing Devers at third, seeing Bogaerts at short, seeing Story at second, and then seeing Casas at first, I was like, here we go. Like, this is it. And I know that at first there was, I don't want to say growing pains with Trevor Story. But I think it wasn't unfair to question the fit. You know, this guy is a lifelong shortstop. People are like, oh, like the fucking throwing issues, the elbow, the shoulder, whatever. Then he gets hurt, misses a decent chunk of the season, started off slow. But now that he's back, and now that he's made an adjustment, and that adjustment is paying dividends immediately, and you saw that play today where Dave O'Brien showed some excitement, which was great.
For once.
Yeah, I got to give credit where credit's due. I'm not a Dave O'Brien hater by any means. My only critique of his is like, get fired up when the moment calls for it. I feel like that's a fair ask.
I'll critique him on Friday. Oh my God. It almost sounded like he was sad that the Red Sox were going to walk that game off.
Yeah.
There was no energy in that ninth inning.
Play it. So this is what
Thursday, not Friday.
About. That was Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Red Sox walk it off, and the call was there was a lack of enthusiasm. Here it is.
1-1. Line shot, fair ball, and that's the ball game. Down into the corner. Here comes Rafi. He scores, and the Sox will win it tonight.
It's not terrible.
Ref Snyder, the first career walk-off for Rob.
It's not
Snyder.
terrible.
So, I mean, I remembered it to have
the
less
Kike one
there.
Yeah. I think the Kike single that tied it was worse than the actual call. But still, for it to be down 3 runs in the ninth inning and you come all the way back like that, just a little bit. Just make me feel like that sounded like, a big double to go ahead in the 6th or 7th inning.
The thing is, my big complaint about David O'Brien is, he's like, he's got like a good radio voice or whatever. And like some of his calls are fine. Like that one I would say is fine. He never elevates any moment. He never elevates anything. Or I would say very, very rarely elevates a moment. And like Don Orsillo did that all the fucking time. And I realized that Don Orsillo is kind of like as good as it gets. And we were spoiled for a little bit. I think if you're going to be considered a very good announcer, you have to elevate moments. And Dave just absolutely does not do that.
So, all right, here's the call that I'm thinking of, because I was confused. When this happened. I thought that they messed it up on the scoreboard. I was like, there's no way this game is tied. That didn't sound like a tie game in the bottom of the... All right, here.
And a liner to right field. And the score is Bogaerts. And the third is Devers as the throw comes home. Gets away a little bit, but no advance.
You just tied it up.
That could have been the bottom of the second inning. That could have been the bottom of the second inning.
This was after losing 8-3. They were losing 8-3. And they were losing 8-5 going into the bottom of the ninth?
Yep.
They were losing 8-5 in the bottom of the ninth. Bases loaded. Bottom 9. 1-run ball game. Kike Hernandez.
And the score is Bogaerts, and the third is Devers as the throw comes home. Gets away a little bit.
When he transitioned into third as Devers, like you can tell that there's pain in his voice.
Seriously.
If there was a way, and I'm sure that there is, if there was a way to separate the audio tracks from call and crowd, the crowd is the only part of that makes it feel like a big moment because they're going bonkers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Dave had a great call. It was like it stood out even like Pete said something. I was just sitting there playing it on the Trevor Story 6th inning defensive play on Sunday.
Beauty. Rocketed. Oh, what a play. Story in right field. Showing the hops and hauling it in to steal one from Heim. Is he up?
Like, that's not even a great call. It's just like I was.
The bar is so
stunned.
low.
The bar is so low that I was like actually stunned that I heard Dave have human emotion.
It hits even harder when we got to experience Mike Monaco like over the weekend. And you listen to Mike Monaco, all of those calls we just played, when Connor Wong hit that 2-run shot on Friday night, you were up, what, 7-1 or whatever it was at the time to make it 9-1?
Did not matter. There was way more for the moment.
That's it. I mean, like, there was more electricity in that one moment than anything else. And like Pete says, can you take it to another level? When the Red Sox were awful and Don Orsillo would make you feel like those games meant something, those were great moments. At a time like this where the Red Sox are kind of out of it, Mike Monaco had you sitting there in a 9-1 game, like jumping out of your seat, hyped up, being like, Connor Wong has arrived.
I feel like that's a really great way to put it, Jared. Is like have a feel for the moment, and like that's a key of a great announcer, because some great announcers have a feel for the moment and know when to shut the fuck up too. And
Dave's
just let
actually
it breathe.
really good at letting it breathe.
Yeah.
Like he has a sense for when to fall back and let the crowd sounds, the stadium sounds do the talking for the call. But this is the Monaco call for Connor Wong's first big league homer.
Oh, this is hammered by Connor Wong, left field, and his first career big league home run.
I mean, come on.
There you go.
Come on.
Please. I'm begging you.
The pop in his voice.
Eck just adds to it. He's the best.
That's not Worcester power. This is the big league. This is Fenway Park, and that's the monster. And that's your first big league bridge ball.
Yeah. Get in there, kid. Yeah, that's what I love. I love the tag team of it, where it, like, you know, you have the great play-by-play call and then the color guy coming in and just fucking topping me off. I love that. But there's that, I mean, that Kike call for tying the game in the bottom of the ninth, if you were able to subtract the crowd sound and just play the call, you'd be like, that's an RBI knock in the second inning. And the Red Sox were already down 8-2 by that point anyway. Like, that's what that sounds like. So it's not like it's not, I can understand how someone would hear this conversation and be like, oh, you just don't like Dave O'Brien because he took over for Don Orsillo. No, and this has nothing to do with Don Orsillo. I'm just a diehard Red Sox fan, and I need
has a little bit to do with Don Orsillo.
I need that energy and that passion on my calls. Like, I'm watching these. Like, I don't have a fucking choice. I don't get to watch another broadcast that is favorable or in favor of the Red Sox. This is the only one I got. So
it has a little bit to do with Don Orsillo because we got used to that, and like we got used to that because we should have that.
For me, it doesn't,
with one of the best in the business.
For me, it doesn't have anything to do with it. It's because I hear other like the Seattle Mariners broadcasts. Perfect example. They're fucking excellent at accelerating and enhancing the moment when the Mariners do something awesome. They fucking crush radio and TV. They crush it every single time. So I just get frustrated when it's almost like drinking water in a dream. Like when you're so fucking thirsty and then you open up your fridge in your dream and then you're just pounding water. But you're like, I'm still thirsty. Why? Oh, because you're dreaming. Like for the Red Sox, if someone hits a fucking RBI, like you were down 8-3, you came back and tied it in the bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, and you're like, yes, I'm satisfied that they tie the game, but like I need that call that's just gonna fucking top me off. Pete,
I completely agree. I mean, it's not a tall ask either.
No, I mean
especially
Mike Monaco does it every fucking time,
especially for this market too. Like, I don't want to come off as like a Dave basher, but like
it's not bad. Like I've made this blanket statement about all baseball broadcasts, so it has It has nothing to do with Dave specifically. I mean, like, obviously we're pointing out it's a Red Sox podcast, so we're going to talk about the Red Sox broadcast in particular. But I've had this blanket statement about every Major League broadcast. Broadcasters have a responsibility to grow the game by being passionate and excited for your home team's moments, because those, like, people consume, if you're a baseball fan, you're consuming a lot of your baseball right here on your phone. I caught that, by the way, on your phone. That's where you're doing it. So if your call is electric, it's 10x, 20x shareable. People that aren't even a fan of your team that you're calling the broadcast for are gonna be like, that was fucking awesome. Like, I'm going to share the shit out of that. Like, all the Slam Diego stuff, not to make it a Dave first Dawn thing, but like, people that didn't give a flying fuck about the Padres were like, this Slam Diego thing's pretty cool. Like, I'm into this. And it's not hard to see why they would be. So yeah, I just, it irks me when you have a call like that, the Kike game tire, and then Mike Monaco has a fucking awesome call for Connor Wong's first big league homer in a game that was already well out of hand for the Red Sox anyway.
I would say, like, that is on the pretty high on the list of things that bother me about Dave O'Brien, but like pretty close to that is like the inability to establish a relationship with the viewer. I think that's somewhere where Dave really falls short. And it's really important for baseball announcers, because if you're a 162 person, you're spending a lot of fucking time with those people every single season. And there's a lot of downtime when it comes to baseball. And like, I feel like if baseball more than anything, like when you watch it, you're inviting the announcers into your living room, like on a nightly basis. And I don't want Dave O'Brien in my living room. I don't know this guy. He's a fucking stranger. Get out of my living room. You're not providing any sort of value to me. Like, I don't know you. You don't know me. There's no relationship there. That's what bothers me most about Dave O'Brien. Get out of my house.
That's the biggest thing. Like with Don and Jerry, like when some of those years, like 2014, I felt like at times you were tuning in just to hear them. Like it was like, there's really nothing here to get me going or get me exciting, but I'm going to sit with Don. I'm going to sit with Jerry. They're going to make me laugh. We're going to watch this game. We're going to make the best out of the situation. Dave O'Brien, it's like when the Red Sox in August and July are just scuffling and shitting the bed on a nightly basis, it's like he just sits in the depression. Like he just makes you feel down. There's nothing uplifting there. There's really no positivity, or, you know, you don't have to spin it in a huge way or whatever it may be, but make me feel like I want to watch the Red Sox. And that's it. I think you put it perfectly, Pete. Dave O'Brien's like that distant cousin. You see it like a family reunion where you're like, hey, man, I really don't have any strong or important feelings towards you, but
Hope
you're
doing
here.
Well.
Yeah, like I spend time with you, you know, once a year or, you know, throughout the year, like, but we just don't have anything that makes us feel like, oh, I think about you, or I want to, I don't know, I just want to enjoy things with you. I have great memories with you. Like you think Dave O'Brien, it's like their 2013 radio call, David Ortiz. There's no other moments when you go in your head and you think, since he's gone on NESN and played this role.
That his greatest Red Sox call, he wasn't even the Red Sox broadcaster at the time.
And that's what Dave O'Brien is. He's a national voice.
Yes.
He doesn't know how to lean into the other ways.
Right. Like he would be fantastic doing Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah.
Fox, like whatever.
He's like so professional and buttoned up that he's good for that kind of job, not to endear himself to a fan base on a 162 basis.
Especially in this market.
Yeah.
Especially in this market. Like, I'm sure that there are some markets that could get away with more of a neutral, national, buttoned up voice. But in Boston, like, you need, like, I want a honk in there. Like, I want someone like, that gives a fuck about the Red Sox winning or losing. Like the Phillies broadcasters
came out and got on the mic
sound
and
like they're going to kill themselves when the Phillies are losing games.
Eck came out, got on the mic, and basically called the Pittsburgh Pirates fucking poverty organization, like dumpster fire trash, on the mic on NESN. And everybody was like, yo, this is kind of fucked up. And then all Red Sox fans were like, this guy's the best. Like, you don't have to do that, but like, show some fucking personality, endear yourself to the hometown fans every once in a while.
And that's what's so heartbreaking, because, you know, X obviously leaving at the end of the year, and you're just picturing like a world in 2023 I think Uke has been amazing at kind of getting close with fans and, really establishing that relationship. Obviously, Mike Monaco has done that in such a small amount, but it looks like Dave O'Brien isn't going anywhere. And then Mike Monaco has opportunities left and right. He's calling Bulls games. He's doing whatever. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand how Nesson doesn't look at this. Look at the response on Twitter every time Mike Monaco does a game. There's viral tweets every single night. If you just say hand Mike Monaco the bag, he should be in the voice, you're going to get 400, 500 likes on a tweet easily.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, that Monaco is getting a bunch of opportunities elsewhere, because it's funny because Eck calls games or does analyst stuff like he's got the job that he wants. He's in the job that he wants. That's it. Dave O'Brien calls games like he's trying to get another job. It literally seems like he's trying to get a national job.
You hear way more when he's calling college basketball games. It's he's doing something he actually likes to do. And I get it. I know Dave O'Brien, New Hampshire, blah, blah, blah. Mike Monaco, what is he from? Cohasset? Local kid, someone who's actually energetic and into it. Why isn't that what you're looking for? If you want to bring young people into the game, you put a 12-year-old to watch a game with Dave O'Brien calling it. Good fucking luck. That kid is never going to watch the Red Sox. I'm just telling you. And I'll be real. As someone who uses MLB TV, a lot of the time I don't watch the Nesson broadcasts anymore. And I was a guy who always watched it, who was always endeared to it. The most I'm hearing out of Dave O'Brien is when I'm cutting clips at 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Do they still do the thing where they sync up the radio broadcast with the video feed? They used to do that on MLB.
Yeah.
Do they still do it?
I believe so, right?
That fucking rules. I love that.
But even that, if you're picking a broadcast, you're going to lean radio every time over TV right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the best, because we have a great fucking radio team.
Exactly. And it's just, I don't know. It's been so many years at this point. We're 6 years now. I understand the people that, there's some people that are Dave, this is just who he is. He can't be Don. I get it. It's fine. I think everyone understands who Dave is, and we realize you can't force him to be anyone else, or else he'll just be uncomfortable or he won't be able to do the job right. But it just doesn't fit what this market needs. It doesn't fit a local voice that is supposed to sound like a fan of the team, someone who's passionate. I have never listened to Dave O'Brien and felt like he was passionate about the Red Sox.
I mean, I in his defense, the fucking David Ortiz call is one of the greatest Red Sox calls of all time. I get chills when I hear it. When I see that David Ortiz grand slam, and I love Joe Buck. I know that Joe Buck gets a lot of hate, but Joe Buck is the soundtrack to, my childhood Red Sox postseason memories. I prefer the Dave O'Brien call to the Joe Buck one of the grand slam. Everyone knows the David Ortiz call. Everyone knows that. And it still gives me chills to hear it over watching that highlight. But yeah, I mean, it would be one thing, like I said, if the Don Orsillo thing was still fresh. It's not. Dave's been here for almost as long as Don was here at this point, which is fucking crazy to think about. That's not fresh. It's not bitterness over that change. It's literally just hearing the calls that are on some of these other regional broadcasts and being damn, that'd be fucking nice to have something like that. I want more excitement. I want more. I think it's a fair criticism.
We wouldn't still be having this conversation if it weren't relevant things that brought it up. This weekend, there was a relevant thing that brought it up. We want better. And that's why we're having the conversation again.
Well, it was a double whammy
for the sake of for Don Orsillo.
It was a double whammy because you had the walk-off happen, and then you had Mike Monaco in the same series. So now it's compare and contrast right up against each other. So that's when it becomes more glaring. Is the Kike call doesn't seem as lame if you don't get Mike Monaco crushing the Connor Wong call the next night.
Yeah. And the other thing I will throw on, the David Ortiz call, electric. Anyone's going to get up for that moment. That is one of the greatest postseason baseball moments we've ever seen. Props to Dave. You got hyped for it. Anybody was hyped for it. Everybody remembers. It's something that we'll never forget. It's, when you're a 162 guy or girl and you're there every night, that's when passion really comes through for something. Anyone can get hyped in the playoffs, and that's just what Dave doesn't have. And it's just sometimes even being in the box where you just don't feel locked in. Mike Monaco hanging on every pitch. The conversation flows smoothly. And even the end, like, I'm not going to lie, I was in my feels a little bit when he spoke to Eck. And he's like, hey, Eck, like, you know, I don't know if we're going to call another game together. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Like, I appreciate it more than you know. And Eck got choked up. Like, obviously, Dave hasn't been leaving the broadcast or said goodbye to anyone yet in that exact way. But, you know, that's the most emotion and personal, you know, feeling where I was like, oh, like, I really connect with Mike Monaco. Like, this is a guy who appreciates where he is, his voice in this market and what just the opportunity means. I just have never felt that with Dave O'Brien.
Yeah.
I think it's a job to him.
I mean, I think it's another just I don't want to say stuck in your ways, but I mean, he's obviously a veteran of broadcasting and he's only ever done it that way. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh, now I'm going to just be super excited all the time. Like, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing because I think I think it goes beyond NESN. I think it's a Red Sox ownership thing. You know, like this is who they want, so that's who they got. And to kind of illustrate how out of touch they were, like the last time John Henry talked about the Orsillo thing, he was like, "Oh, you guys still care about this?" It's like, yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah, dude.
They probably think we love Dave O'Brien.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not a bad guy. It's just, I think if you're trying to reach the young fans, then like, let's get someone to fire up the boys.
Maybe
That's
Dave
Mike
O'Brien
Monaco.
can be the fucking play-by-play guy for the Pittsburgh Penguins if John Henry loves him so fucking much.
And it's going to get even worse because X retiring.
That's the scary part.
Here's the fun little question. We all like to believe that maybe the 2022 Red Sox killed Eck and made him decide that maybe he doesn't want to work anymore. Is there any chance that like he was like, I'm fucking sick of dragging this fucking lifeless robot's body across the fucking finish line every goddamn broadcast?
I mean,
when you're the star constantly and you got to be the funny person, the one bringing up conversation, like it feels like sometimes Dave O'Brien just runs out of things to say. And like it's like, you ever play the show and you've played it so much, you know when the lines are going to play back to you? That's Dave O'Brien. Like if you get into the fifth inning and, you know, it's kind of like a 6-2 game and there's not much going on, you know, every single catch, like topic / thing he's going to touch on and kind of bring to the table. And it's just a repeat of the same dialogue over and over and over again. Listen, not a bad guy, just not the right guy.
that's a good way to put it.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah.
He could be a bad guy. I don't know him personally.
Fair point.
Look at this. But Blue Moon's a good beer. As a matter of fact,
Wouldn't want to have one with Dave O'Brien, I'll tell you that.
Damn. That's tough. I don't know that I wouldn't want to have. I think I would want to have a beer with Dave O'Brien just so I could be like, so what's the deal? Like, why can't we get fired up for the boys?
Do you like baseball?
Yeah, well, what's the logic? Would love to know. Because baseball and beer go hand in hand, and Blue Moon is the perfect stadium companion with its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, iconic orange slice ritual, and authentic ballpark roots. In fact, Blue Moon was born in a ballpark, first created at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado. From the first pitch to extra innings, a Blue Moon guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience every single time. Me and Pete, we're sucking down the Blue Moons today at the baseball game. We were at Fenway Park watching the Boston Red Sox cap off a 4-game sweep. Every time, Pete, you have the smallest bladder I think I've ever...
I pissed a lot. Yeah.
You pissed a lot, dude. What's up with that?
It's better than pissing my pants.
Yeah, it's better than pissing your pants.
Plus, we were in the State Street Pavilion, and the bathroom is right there. No lines. Very convenient.
It is pretty great. It's very convenient to have that. Yeah,
I'm
pretty
not
great.
a big pants pisser. Sorry
Yeah.
that my bladder was not up to par, Jared.
Respect.
That's fine. I mean, it's, you know, you're enjoying yourself. You're drinking some Blue Moons. Obviously, you're going to have to piss. That's just how that works. That's how bladders work. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian White is one of a kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that's one of a kind? Best served with a signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Break out of your same old beer slump. Blue Moon Belgian White is one of a kind every time. Get Blue Moon Belgian White delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared to see your delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon, made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale.
While we're on the topic of just airing some grievances, some annoyances with our favorite baseball team, the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
I've had something brewing for a little bit here.
What's that?
What the fuck is up with the ketchup at Fenway Park?
It's not Klark's.
It's not Klark's, and it's not even real ketchup. It's fucking like vegan tomato paste.
What?
Yes. I don't know if anybody's had the ketchup at Fenway Park. It's fucking disgusting. It's not real ketchup.
I will side with Pete. I don't know if I feel as strongly about it, but I am a massive ketchup guy. Like I put a lot of ketchup on just about anything, and their ketchup was definitely subpar. It definitely was not what it felt like. You know, when you kind of squeeze the ketchup and it has like that weird liquid come out, you know, like when it's been sitting for a little bit and it's like kind of gross and you no longer want to have it. That's
ketchup pre-cum.
Yes, it feels like ketchup pre-cum, like just a whole bottle of it.
It's disgusting. I will go that far as to say that it is it's repulsive. It's awful. Like I said, it's fucking tomato paste. And like, it doesn't taste super awful, but it doesn't taste like Klark's, and it doesn't look like Klark's, and it's a little unsightly, and there's no excuse for it. Have regular ketchup.
Did all this happen while you were having a hot dog, or was it more of a tender situation?
Yeah, what the fuck did you eat that you had ketchup? We had like steak.
Not today. Like I said, this has been brewing for quite some time, and I've been sitting on this take. The ketchup is disgusting. It's usually, I like to go ketchup and mustard, sometimes a little bit of relish on the hot dog. But I've skipped ketchup most of the time at Fenway this year because I don't want to see that shit on my hot dog.
I mean,
I'm excited to see what the listeners come back with when it comes to this, because like maybe I'm on an island.
No,
but I feel like more likely than not, there are going to be a lot of people that are like, yes, dude, what the fuck?
You could say anything, and to this point, I believe there will be people who back you.
Yeah, you
Listen,
got way more support than you ever deserved for the stare thing. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to talk about it.
Don't bring it up.
You guys are a little party of three over here saying like I'm a fucking moron. I have doctors in science and fucking like
they're
physical
morons
therapists coming out, and they're like, he is 100% right. I've got facts on my side, and you guys have your fucking little boys club with your crusty ass socks under the bed.
Oh, that's just a low blow. What does it have to do with anything? That's just a low blow. I opened up to you, Pete, and you take advantage of me.
I was vulnerable with you, Pete.
Seriously, go fuck yourself. You go on that subreddit.
That's what you get. That's what you get for last week for being like, you proud of yourself. One of the worst takes.
If you read the subreddit and you read what those people said, most of them, it was pity that they felt bad. If you really read into the comments, and they said,
how many of the comments defending you brought like articles to the table that were like, here's scientific evidence.
Type it into Google.
He was citing fake Twitter doctors like Fernando Tatis Jr. being like, "Oh, this guy said it. He's a doctor, right?" It's like, no, his name is John 354533456778. That he claims to be a doctor, though.
Those are the kind of
Red
people that
Sox medical staff.
Yeah,
doctors have burner accounts like that because they're fucking doctors and they can't tweet unhinged shit without losing their jobs. So they have to create burner accounts with dog pictures.
And the fact that you believe that it's really people should look at you differently now. Instead of just seeing a name like that on Twitter with no profile picture and it's just first name with 17 numbers, being like, well, this is clearly a doctor that's just trying to hide his name instead of just
listen.
some
Nobody has
fucking
ever lied or
random idiot.
impersonated anybody else on the internet before. Everything is fucking true. So I got doctors on my side. You guys are just holding each other's dicks, making each other feel better about how wrong your take is.
Pete, the main thesis of the question that we were talking about was what would burn more calories and be a better workout. You turned it into this whole stress on your knees, joints, muscles. That's a whole different conversation than what we had.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't even know how we got started on this, to be honest with you.
Because I said I was going to buy a Stairmaster.
Obviously, going upstairs is like a better workout.
I said
that's it.
I said I was going to buy a Stairmaster.
I think I said that last week too.
I said I was going to buy a Stairmaster, and then you were like, "Why don't you just walk up and down the stairs in your apartment?" Because I was like, "Well, if you want to burn fat but no muscle, then you just walk upstairs." But then I got to walk down the stairs, and it's a whole fucking thing. And it's like, why wouldn't I just get a Stairmaster to continuously walk up the stairs? And then you try to say that walking down the stairs was just as much of a workout. And I was like, no, it's fucking not. And that's where it started, because it's not. I don't want to talk about it.
That's fair. It's not as much of a workout, but it's just more taxing. So like, yeah, a Stairmaster is like the way to go, but I just think it's kind of a waste of money when you live in a building with stairs.
Because I don't want to walk down the fucking stairs, Pete. That's why.
Because why?
Because it's not as good of a
efficiency.
It could be because it takes more of a toll on your body.
Isn't that worse? If I just want a good workout, I would walk upstairs continuously. And to your point, walking down the stairs brings more wear and tear to your knees. So if I wanted a more, sufficient or efficient workout, then I would just continuously walk up the stairs.
Correct. Yeah. Maybe I just want to see you blow your knees. I don't know.
Dude, wow. I literally blow up my knees just fucking walking 2 blocks to Fenway.
All right, I'm glad we got that covered.
Speaking of walking around Fenway, I had to drive all the way to Saugus tonight to go to Target. There's a Target in very close proximity to where I live in the Fenway area. And fucking, I go in there on Thursday. The line is around the goddamn store. I was like, what the fuck is this? They're like, oh, it's back to school. And I was like, all right. I had a whole grocery list of things I needed to get. Come back on Friday. Same thing. Come back on Saturday. Same thing. Go in there this morning. Same thing. So I was like, instead of waiting an hour and a half in line at this Target, I'm going to drive to Saugus, go to that Target and do my shopping, and then drive all the way back. And I'm probably still save time. And I did. That's what I did. I don't know if I love this whole back to school thing. Why do we have to do that?
Fuck them kids.
Yeah. Do you think any of these kids that are going to college are going to amount to anything? No.
Definitely not the ones that drive U-Hauls into Sturo Drive bridges.
No. Day 1, September 1. Rip the fucking top off a U-Haul. Day 1.
I saw that on the way to Fenway like a month ago. Somebody was driving in like the middle of August and fucking decapitated their U-Haul on the way to Fenway.
Mm-hmm. Split it open like a tin can.
Outrageous.
Happens every year.
Every year. This year there was one on each side of the bridge. There was one going fucking whatever bound and one on the same bridge on the other side.
Good. I hope it was totaled. I hope the truck was totaled.
Speaking of popping them tops off.
Oh, Triston Casas, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wanted to make sure we talked about that because as if I needed a reason to be in on that guy.
Wait,
to show up on your first day of work.
Before we move on to that, because I just thought of something else when we were talking about Target. When I was in the Target, the Red Sox clubbies were in there, and they were buying a Lego set. And I was like, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know who that's for. Why? Like right before, it was 2 hours before the game started. And they're like buying a Lego set. I'm like, I don't even want to know who that's for. But anyways, I thought that was very
Raffy.
funny. It could have been.
It is. So let's not play games here. It's definitely for Rafi. He needed something to do before the game, before ice cream time. That's his activity.
Don't know. But someone needed Legos. They needed them immediately. Anyways, because I thought of that because, obviously Triston Casas is a little quirky. But I thought that was pretty quirky too. Someone was like, hey, first pitch is in a couple hours. Can you go get me some Legos? Triston Casas gets called up. By the way, credit to Name Redacted Podcast for breaking the news.
Yep.
Should we have Chris Cotillo on the podcast to apologize for trying to claim it?
Please.
Yes.
I think there's a good chance he doesn't answer. He's gonna be like, I don't know. That's what he's gonna say.
What now?
Whoa.
Did you ever issue a retraction for trying to claim that you broke the Triston Casas news?
Casas, not Casas.
It doesn't matter. Did you ever issue an apology?
No, it matters.
No, it doesn't
matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
You
clearly you don't practice journalistic integrity anyway. What the fuck do you care about the pronunciation of his name?
you'd think that as a forward-thinking institution, named Redacted Podcast, or the fuck you call it.
Yeah.
That
are you even allowed to swear? Do they allow that at the Mexican Times?
No.
Okay, so you're barking up the wrong tree right now because
For
I'm
a guy
asking
who's chirping you about the pronunciation of a name, can't seem to say Name Redacted Podcast very smoothly.
Right.
What I would say here, the official comment is the Times work relentlessly around the clock.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew how to say that in Spanish, I would.
Why are you claiming to now not know how to speak Spanish?
I've lost my fastball.
Okay. How old are you?
He's a professor.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
What did you say, Tyler? Oh yeah.
Now a professor. And this behavior is pretty embarrassing.
I saw that. You issued the cuntiest email ever to your students. What was the deal with that? You're like, this class is only once a week, and if you don't show up, it's going to be big trouble for all you little kiddos. What the fuck was that?
We had poor attendance week one, and you have to set the standard.
Where's the accountability? Where's the accountability? Isn't that kind of on you? Where you didn't make the syllabus exciting enough to show up week one?
No, the syllabus is exciting. You'll figure that out when you're a guest speaker in week about 12. Thank you in advance.
What school is this?
Boston College. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. So if I'm going to be a speaker, they probably have some budget to break me off a piece for going to speak to your fucking students.
No, Cotillo, have you ever just considered the fact that you don't put asses in seats?
It's one of those giving back type things.
No, I don't give back. I hate giving back. I do things for the check. That's the only thing I do it for. Jake, do I give back?
I've never seen you give back once.
Well, week 3 in my class is about breaking news, as I did last night.
You didn't though. You didn't, and no, you're a fraud for trying to claim that. If you invite me, hold on, shut up. I can mute your mic. If you come back,
it's pretty cut and dry.
If you have me come speak to your students, I'm gonna go in there and be like, hey, your professor is a fucking liar. I broke the Triston Casas news, and then he tried to piggyback off of it and steal my shine.
No, if you look at it chronologically, your "it's time" tweet, which is too vague anyway to be a report.
No, it's not.
No,
hold on.
It was after my tweet.
It might have been
seconds after the tweet. It's still after the tweet. That's just how it goes.
Chris, I showed you the screenshot. My tweet appeared before yours on my timeline for argument's sake.
That's not just like the arbiter. It's objectively I was first.
No, you weren't. And also, that's how I break news. I never say breaking or short. Is that what you're teaching your kids? If you're gonna break news, you got to put sources or breaking in all caps. You
mean like be a legitimate journalist? Yes, that's what it is.
Why do you have to be a legitimate journalist to break news? I'm not a legitimate journalist, and I break way more news than you.
And you didn't break the news.
Yes, I did. Tyler, did we break the news on episode 42? What episode is this? 44?
This is 2 episodes ago. Actually, we had the report and we kind of let everyone know. We didn't feel the need to show off about it.
What was your phrasing there? He'll be
back and listen to the pod. Go back and listen to it.
Also, Chris,
why would I
Chris,
do that?
by the way,
your kids aren't showing up to class, so why not put the time in?
Right. Yeah. It sounds like you got a lot of empty classrooms that you could just sit and listen to the podcast.
No, we did what we did.
Also,
we were
Jared's
way over half.
Jared's
we were way over half week 1.
Jared's tweet had a picture. And
yeah,
I like
you didn't have a picture. Yeah.
You didn't have a fucking
increase
picture with your
engagement,
breaking
use a
news.
picture. Yeah.
If you can't read,
fat thumbs can work fast enough to get the tweet and the picture out.
Yeah, dude.
It's not about being first. It's about being right.
You know what?
You should know that as a journalist.
Jared was
first and right and had a picture. Pretty sick.
I was going to tweet out the picture of him when he was like a little fat kid holding up the 2 trophies. And I was going to say it's time. But when I Googled Triston Casas, it didn't come up. So if I didn't have that idea and I just saved the first picture that comes up on Google image searches, I would have beaten you. And therefore, I mean, like, you didn't have the news before me.
That's an admission. There's an admission right there.
What?
Yeah, I wish you didn't say that. You said I would have beaten you.
No.
Yeah, you kind of just indicted yourself.
No, I didn't.
I've watched a lot of Law and Order. You kind of fucked yourself there.
No, because I tweeted him the picture that shows that on my timeline, my tweet came first. His was after that.
No.
Yep.
It's just, if you get it.
Yep.
I have the receipt. Is Pat on here?
No.
I was going to say we found the worst major league pitcher. It's Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, he's terrible. He actually, I don't know if you saw my tweet. I broke that news too. His last start before getting DFA'd 2 out of the 3 times was against the Red Sox. They ended him 2 out of 3 times.
They broke him. It's a bad team to be broken by.
Yeah, well, no, they're actually, I don't know if you saw my tweet where I broke some news that since I threw out the first pitch, that the Red Sox offense is number 1 in. You know what?
Wow.
You know what? That's a guy that just can't handle the fucking truth. That's
true.
what that was.
I really wish you didn't say. I really wish you didn't say I would have been first.
Well, I was
first. You said it, but you said I would have been first. Like, that was just
undeniably I would have been
a little
first.
Bit. Yeah, I wish you threw that word in there. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, that's what I meant.
Like, if we were on Law and Order right now, the defense would have been like, aha!
No,
I didn't want to say it in front of him. You know, like when something like that happens to a friend, you wait to speak to them privately.
Right.
Better moments, Jared. Better moments than that one. But I think he got you worked up, so you know it happens.
Well, I meant
I think you got him worked up too. Like, he hung up. So anytime somebody hangs up, you automatically win.
He always
run away.
You can't handle the truth. Yeah. So credit to us for breaking the news. Just another feather in the cap of this podcast. Most downloaded Red Sox podcast and most breaking news of any Red Sox platform. That's just a fact. And
but anyway,
now that I'm all worked up, I think I'm going to need some CBD gummies.
Okay.
CBD MD to be exact. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because they are the leaders in hemp-based CBD and Delta-9 THC products. These guys have everything you could possibly need to just straight up feel better. And their latest breakthrough is Delta-9 THC. These sneaky innovators found a way to get these Delta-9 THC products shipped directly to your door. Some restrictions may apply because of course they do. So check your local laws before purchasing. But I'm telling you, this stuff is the real deal. They've got gummies packed with 10 milligrams of THC, perfect for winding down after watching the Sox blow yet another lead, but they didn't. They didn't really have any. Barnes got really unlucky 2 nights ago, but he didn't blow it.
Nope.
I want to talk about that inning after this. Does 10 milligrams sound like a lot to you? Because if it does, then CBD MD has you covered with their microdose soft gels with just 1 milligram of THC. These little guys pack a punch that's perfect for all day support whenever and wherever you need it the most. Don't get all caught up in all the technicalities. This is the same THC that you've come to know and love over the years, just extracted from hemp. And I know that the read says after the Red Sox blow another lead that you want to take them, but I just take them because it's a nice little way to wind down at the end of a long day, especially at the end of a long weekend. And it's a holiday on Monday. So it's a great way to unwind on a holiday. To learn more about Delta 9 and everything else CBDMD has to offer, just head to cbdmd.com. Once again, that is cbdmd.com for more information, education, and the best damn gummies that you've ever had. Must be 21 years or older to purchase Delta 9. Matt Barnes kind of got fucked in that inning. Like, he came out for the save on Saturday night. There was a botched double play attempt. There was a curveball down with 2 strikes that got called a ball that would have been strike 3. And then a dinky little swinging bunt up the third baseline that Rafi just had to eat. I mean, people will say, oh, that's a step back. Like you said, Matty Backpacks was back. I mean, it wasn't like a flawless inning by any means, but the Red Sox won. No runs scored, right? It was a 1-run game that he came into.
Yeah, Schreiber came in, the K, and then he just finished it off on a ground out.
Yeah. I just didn't know if it was like a 2 or 3 run game when he came in, and then it ended up being a 1-run game. But yeah, I don't think any runs scored. All the runners were stranded thanks to Schreiber coming in and getting the job done. By the way, back up to 96.
Yeah, listen, I saw him today. The broadcast was very heavily saying they thought Eck was the one to really say it. They thought he was laboring. He started using his changeup to kind of get by. A lot of usage in this series, man. 3 different times. Please, I understand. You want to compete. You want to do your thing down the stretch. Easy. I didn't think you had to lean on him today. I would have been willing to take a chance with someone else up 3 runs. I know you need to win the game. It's a sweep, but give the guy, please don't ruin the arm. It's special. This isn't a 1-year kind of burst. John Schreiber's going to be a really good bullpen arm. They had Bizzardo warming up. I would have taken a chance even with someone like him. Oh, stop.
Sucks.
Listen, he got taken for the 2-run jack in the first game. Next night had a nice clean outing. Stop it. You wanted to use Schreiber there? You're willing to blow that arm out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. At this point in the season, while there is still a chance, I'm not willing to kill John Schreiber. I would have. Hey, listen, if you wanted to put Bizzardo out and said, let's see if you can get a couple outs and finish it off, maybe you give up 1 or 2 and then you go to Schreiber. Sure. 3 times in one series, that's a lot.
What the fuck? Sorry, I was looking at my Snapchat stories and one of my friends from high school was pumping titty milk in her Snapchat story. Like a public Snapchat.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see.
I mean, I'm not one to judge, but I didn't expect to see that. Just
Well, I mean, I think there's an essence of decorum that's required.
You think it's inappropriate?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what the story was, but if it was just like her straight up, just like
she's like she's wearing a dress, so it looks like she's like at someone's like wedding. Like, it's like a fancy looking bathroom, and she's just in the bathroom pumping titty milk and then holding her phone with the other hand. It's like taking like a selfie video in the mirror while pumping titty milk.
Oh, so that's kind of funny then. Like, it's just like it's kind of making light of the absurdity of the situation.
Yeah,
it seems. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like, hey, check this out.
No.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and she's like,
I think that if you're gonna breastfeed, like, it's by all means. I think there's just like a little bit of decorum to it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with sucking the soul out of some titties.
That's right. Got milk, bitch.
Yeah. But anyways, Matt Barnes got unlucky on Saturday. So I will not accept any argument for him not being back because of that outing, because he didn't end up getting the save. That save against the Twins. When was that? Wednesday?
Last game of the series.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, that made it move a little bit. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with things are at right now. I'm happy that Casas is finally up. I don't know. I just
I thought what Alex Cora had to say about him after the game. Listen, I think everyone freaked out. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it was even crazier at Fenway, but when that first ball came off the bat, the Nesson cameras did typical Nesson camera things, and it looked like that ball was going to land in the red seat for a hot second. Did you guys think it was gone off the bat there?
I thought there was a chance.
Yeah, it looked like it could have. Yeah.
But I thought the defense, number one, was a huge thing. A lot of people didn't see this over the last week. Stats was the one who kind of tipped me off to it. But in the International League, they did kind of a vote for the best defensive first baseman in AAA. Casas won it. And I think we saw that for the first time, today at the big league level. We talk so much about the bat and the approach. Well, multiple nice plays over by the bag that no person, even Eric Hosmer, who is suited up at first base for the Red Sox this year, would have made. So I think that's a part of his game that Red Sox fans, you'll love the bat. We know he's going to hit, but you're going to fall in love with that just as much as anything else.
I fell in love with this guy the second that I saw him half naked rolling around on the field this morning, sunning his butthole. Like, just the audacity and like the boldness and the confidence that that requires to show up first day on the job and be like, yeah, I'm just going to do this. Like, this is what I do. It works, and I'm going to do it. And I don't give a fuck if it's AA. I don't give a fuck if it's AAA. I don't care if it's Fenway Park. This is my routine. This is what I'm doing. Deal with it. Like, that's the kind of shit that I love to see. It's the kind of shit that I was talking about last week when, like, Jarren Duran kind of, like, got really, really mousy and, like, very quiet and was, like, kind of loses that bravado in the clubhouse as soon as you get to the major league level. No, keep that shit. Keep it. Do you. And as long as the results follow, we will put up with it. We will all be okay with it. Be comfortable and fucking rake. That's all I want. And seeing him rolling around the grass made me very happy in my soul because that's just a guy who's just going to do his thing. Whatever works for him.
And like on top of it, it was like Alex Cora after the game going out and saying like, the way this guy carries himself, the way he talks about baseball is something even him, like you never see out of a rookie. He's like, this guy just came into the clubhouse and he's talking with guys. He's, in the dugout sitting with Christian Arroyo and Rafael Devers. We saw what Brayan Bello, it even took a little bit for him to kind of become part of the crew. We saw Devers talking to him a ton. Evaldi took him under his wing. Triston Casas shows up and day one. People want to talk to him. People want to be around him. He gives a speech after the game that Trevor Story brought up in his post game saying, I've never seen a rookie do something like that. When I came up and made my debut, and we all remember what Trevor Story did when he debuted in Colorado, he was like, I was terrified to talk to anybody. Triston Casas isn't scared. Like, he knows he deserves to be here. He knows he's a big leaguer. That, like Pete said, it's the anti-Jarren Duran. And look at Jarren Duran right now. You look at AAA, he's had a couple nice games. He looks like he's having the time of his life back down there again. Like, some guys can be themselves and they trust themselves at this level. They have that maturity. This is one of those guys, and he's what, 3 years younger than Jarren Duran?
Wasn't there a quote about? Wasn't there a quote earlier this season? Somebody interviewed Casas, and he was talking about hitting and like how passionate he was about hitting, and he said something that like I forget what he said, but it was really funny, and it just like kind of illustrates like he is super, super, super passionate about hitting.
So
JD Martinez
So this is from there was a podcast called Section 10. In 2018, these guys had Triston Casas on their podcast. It was the day after he got drafted, but it was before he signed. He actually, speaking of breaking news, shout out to these guys. He broke the news that he was signing with the Red Sox on this podcast. But here's what he had to say.
Personally, if I'm not trying to be the best at what I do, I feel like I'll be mediocre, and I like to set my expectations high. And if I didn't believe that I could make it come true, I wouldn't say it.
What's your target age to reach the big leagues?
Man, hopefully I can play the rest of this rookie season well, and I'm hoping to make it by 2021. Hopefully not spend too much time in the minor leagues, make an impact as soon as possible. I mean, they got a lot of good players in the big leagues right now as we speak, and they're playing really good baseball. So hopefully I can get up there as soon as possible and make an impact with those guys.
That's interesting. So he said 2021 and ended up being 22. That's what
I blame COVID.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here's the quote. I love hitting. It's my favorite thing to do in the world. If you ask me about it, I'll be able to write a book. I've always said that if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, you're going to think it's dumb. But if you talk to me about hitting, you might think I'm the smartest person in the world. What a fucking quote. That was to Juliana Semino of the Boston Globe. The Boston Globe, Alex Spear, in August of 2022.
And that's
last month.
Yeah, that's why during spring training, the Red Sox have paired Triston Casas with JD Martinez every single year. Follow him around. Do your BP work with him. Those are the only two guys I've ever seen talk, have these conversations and really, be viewed as these hitting gurus in terms of adjusting mechanics and approach and all these different things, to see it almost as a science to that level. And obviously JD Martinez, we're talking about a guy who completely reinvented his swing, went through his entire career, and he's on the, back nine right now. Casas is just starting. And for him to have that kind of respect, to have that kind of ability to be able to hold a conversation with someone like JD Martinez and get his respect back, that tells you everything you need to know. You have guys like Mike Scioscia, when he coached him at the Olympics, talking about how special of a bat he is, how special of a guy he is. It's been a long time since I've seen a prospect get, this kind of positive review from this many spaces, whether it's the analytic guys, whether it's the old school guys. They all come together and they're just saying, this guy's beyond mature for his age, and he's just going to hit. He's going to hit for a very long time. And we probably haven't even seen close to what he's actually going to do. We haven't even seen his power actually truly realize in the minor leagues yet.
I'm just excited.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited. This is probably like, one of the guys that he's probably like the first top prospect to that you kind of saw from the beginning and then like actually get up here that had some sort of connection to the podcast. We never had like Yohan Moncada on. I don't think he spoke English at the time. I don't even know if he does now. He might, but I don't think he did at the time.
I'll tell you what he doesn't do now.
What's that?
Hit the ball.
He's bad?
He's like I think he's batting less than 200.
He's no Rafael Devers, I'll tell you that much. Good move, Dave.
Yeah, you got it. That's what I was talking to Maz about last week, when it was like, you got to identify your prospects, which ones are going to be pieces of the future, and then the ones that have some buzz that you don't see fitting into the future, turn those into established guys.
Yeah, that Bobby Dalbeck, Jaron Duran package is going to be something. That's our new Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar kind of comp there.
We didn't talk about it yet, but the Triston Casas call up, the corresponding move was Bobby Dalbeck going down to Worcester.
R.I.P.
Sad. I'm sad to see Bob get sent down, but I understand it. And I think when you look at his season and you are a 162 guy or girl and you've been watching it all year, I mean, the fact that it didn't happen sooner is crazy. Like, he was really struggling for a while there. And I mean, he kept getting opportunity. It went from like, here's why I didn't really consider that a win, keeping him on the roster, because Bob is at his best when he's playing consistently. And I was going to say that to the news of him getting demoted, but I just didn't feel like dealing with the people that are like, you only stick up for him because you're friends with him. Like, that's the only reason why you stick. Like, no. I just know him. I know him as a player too. And what I said in the tweet was, this is a guy that, don't mistake his laid back personality for a lack of passion or caring or wanting to be great. He's very fiery, very passionate, and wants to be great. And he takes the game of baseball very seriously and his craft very seriously. And when he doesn't perform, it fucking crushes him. Like, it crushes him when he does not perform well. I know we talked about the Jaron Duran piece that fucking Catillo wrote, and some guys express that differently. Some guys are more candid about their feelings. There's nothing wrong with either. But Bob is not someone that is going to just openly tell you about that. I think he's the type of guy that when things are going bad, he'll tell you he's fine if he's not. That's how he rolls, because he would much rather harness that negative energy and use it as motivation to be better And, there's no exact science. Whatever works for you works for you. But that's just kind of how he's built. I think if he's obviously not happy with how his season went, I don't think he can't be happy about being sent down, and he can't be happy about the writing on the wall. You've got Casas is up. He's here now. He's here. And Eric Hosmer is getting paid league minimum to be on this roster. You obviously have Devers at third base. For some reason, the Red Sox did not try out Bob in the outfield, which was what I was saying to do in fucking spring training. I was like, dude's an athlete. Just give him a look. You gave Arroyo a look out there. You've given Franchy a look out there. Why not Bob? I feel like out of all the guys that you've put in the outfield, that he would at least have a chance to look how they say, when pitchers hit, he looks hitterish. Bob would look outfielderish, I think, if you put him out there and
fastest guy on the team, according to you.
Yeah, he is.
Not anymore.
Not at that time.
Not anymore.
I believe there was a report back in spring training this year when Arroyo went and got that work that they tried Dalbeck out there a little bit just to get some work, and they liked Arroyo more. Dalbeck didn't really wow anyone out there defensively. I think the big thing is coming into this year, we all knew Triston Casas was going to, he should have been up, June or July if he never got hurt. It was him auditioning for the DH spot moving forward. Can you turn August and September into what you are going to be? It was the opposite of that. Unfortunately, he's 9th percentile expected batting average, 33rd percentile expected slugging, 5th percentile whip percentage. And he's bad defensively, 28th percentile, outs above average. There's really nothing working for him. He hits the ball hard. It's 78th percentile hard hit percentage, but you need to hit the ball consistently to do that. He feels like the type of player where that window has closed. Could he be a bench player? I think that's ultimately what's best suited for him, or some kind of platoon role. I don't think he's an everyday player. The struggles against righties are very real. He's somewhat competent against lefties. It's just, that window, similar to Jarren Duran in a lot of ways, you missed it. And I would be shocked if he doesn't go down to AAA and absolutely mash. I think ultimately now you got to see what you can do on the trade market with him. Because if his best role is on the bench, is that even really, can you get more than that if you move him in some type of deal or make him part of a package?
Well, I want to throw out this hypothetical. You just mentioned Bob and Duran. Say there's at the end of spring training next year, there's one outfield spot left, and you can keep one of those guys. And say Bob's been getting run in the outfield and looks okay. Would you rather have Duran or would you rather have Bob? It's an outfield bench spot.
I would lean Dalbeck because I would know he can play third. He could play first. And, Jarren Duran, while he hit for 1 month this year, Dalbeck at least showed, we've seen periods of him being able to hit. And I think the power this year, while it was down, he should be able to tap into that more, whatever that issue has been, even if he can never really hit for average. I like Bob a little bit more than Duran, but at this point, I'm really not liking either one of them that much. I think you missed the window of dealing Bob over the offseason. I think that's when Chaim Bloom and the Red Sox should have capitalized and realized the stock's probably never going to be higher than it is. He balled out the last 2 months of the season. Can we deal him to a team like the A's or something that will allow him to play every day, have plenty of opportunity? It just felt,
I don't know. Say it.
Say what?
Say Sean Murphy.
Oh, I would love fucking Sean Murphy, please. But Bobby Dalbeck, let's be real. Let's grow up here. Bobby Dalbeck in that package, maybe you're the last part on a good day. But it just, I don't know. I never thought Bobby Dalbeck was going to be the future DH here. I never saw him profile in that way, but I think they probably thought he'd be some kind of interesting bench piece that you can move around and do different things with.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say,
Jared, do you think he's a 40 home run guy that's going to be a middle of the order kind of guy? Do you still have that kind of faith in him?
No, I don't think he's going to be a middle of the order guy, but I think that he has, he'll go to fucking Cincinnati and he'll have a season where he hits 36 homers, and then everyone will be like, "Geez, Chaim, what nice going, Chaim." But I just don't think that, given the pieces that are here right now, I don't think that he'll have the opportunity to have a 36 home run season here. He's not going to get he doesn't have a spot. He doesn't have the consistent playing time opportunity. So if and when he goes somewhere and he does play every day and he's given 500 plate appearances, yeah, I think that he's more than capable of hitting fucking 240 with a 8-something OPS and hit 36 homers and 20 doubles or whatever. Yeah, I think he's capable of that.
That's a pretty good player. That's an above league average bat hitting 30 jacks a year.
Yeah.
It is funny because like we do talk about like the can they do it in Boston argument a lot when it comes to guys that are usually that's a conversation that happens with like an external player that like they're talking about acquiring and like whether or not we think they can do it in Boston. But it's not often a conversation that happens that is like discussed fairly when it comes to guys that are already here and like would probably benefit from a new start elsewhere. Like, I think that a lot of people are on the train like, Bob fucking sucks. Get Bob the fuck out of here. I'm so sick of Bob. And like, has he underperformed? Yeah. But like, there is very rarely the acknowledgement that like, hey, maybe he just like kind of needs to be somewhere else. Like, and not from like a selfish perspective, like get him the fuck off my team, but like maybe he would just be better off somewhere else.
Yeah, like, I don't think that's crazy. And that's why, like, listen, you can be hard on Jarren Duran because of the immaturity. Bob hasn't been like that. He is a constant professional. It seems like he is one of the most beloved teammates in that clubhouse. And Alex Cora went to bat for him when he got demoted the other day. Just talking about like, this guy cares more than anybody. He's in the weight room before anyone. Like, he constantly shows up and does his thing. And Cora's talked about how much he respects Bob and different stuff. It's just sometimes it doesn't work out. I just don't think the right opportunity for him to, reach his potential or whatever it is at this point is here.
Yeah. Yeah. He's very calm and cool and emotionless in a lot of ways. I think it was last year. I forget what happened. I think he overran like a foul pop up or something, and he just fucking destroyed a chair in the clubhouse. It's like he cares that much. Like he wants to be perfect, and I can imagine that being super frustrating when you know that you're at your best when you're playing every day, and that opportunity to play every day is it's not here. Like, it's not here. I want Bob to be here. Like, but I also want him to have a fucking killer MLB career. That's what I want most for him. So, I truly believe that you won't see him reach his full potential unless he has an everyday role. And he had an everyday role here for a little bit, and he did not capitalize on that. He struggled, but it is what it is. I'm hoping that, the off season chance to unplug, refocus, come up with a new plan. I mean, like, you see Trevor Story coming back with the toe tap. We already talked about that. Like, is there something that he can do to sort of reintroduce himself? I don't know. But obviously he's one of the easiest guys to root for. So I am. What?
Nothing. Next year will be his age 28 season.
Yeah, he's running out of time.
It's moving for Bob.
It's moving.
That's some Franchi Cordero territory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got to talk about athletic greens real quick, though. Did I tell you guys that I bought a milk frother because of athletic greens?
What's that?
So, Pete, do you know what a milk frother is?
I do. I use it for my coffee.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, what I didn't love about my milk frother was that it didn't come with batteries. So I had to go to Target to get a couple AA batteries, and that was 45 minutes. So instead of, like, when I got my athletic greens, it came with like a bottle, and then you would put like the scoop in there with the water, and then you'd shake it. But like sometimes, like, it doesn't mix well when you just shake it in a bottle. But you get this milk frother, and I pour a glass of water, and then you put your 1 scoop of Athletic Greens in there, and then you just stick your milk frother and you hit the button and it just goes, and then it just like blends it, mixes it perfectly. And then that's how I start my day now.
Do you think that that girl on your Instagram story froths her titty milk?
Should we call her and ask?
Oh, God.
It's up to you, man.
You went to high school with her?
No.
Listen,
But
if that baby's drinking frothed titty milk, that baby's going to grow up real spoiled.
right.
That's some bougie ass shit.
Yeah. I forget when I think I met her when I like visited my friends in college. But we have mutual friends from my hometown, but she's not from my hometown, I don't think. Great girl. Great girl. Happy for her. Our next partner has a product that I use literally every day. I started taking AG1 because I wanted better gut health and more energy. And now I've been on it for a few weeks and I feel great. So what is this stuff? With 1 delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. And here's why I love it. I do 4 podcasts a week. I'm watching every single game every single night. It's very tiring. Waking up and taking my AG1 gives me the energy that I need to perform all these tasks and be entertaining and on my A game every single day. It's got all my vitamins and minerals that I need in 1 easy scoop serving. And now that I'm on the road more, I bring the to-go packs with me for the early wake-up calls. It costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. It also supports better sleep and recovery, which is very important. And right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every single day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Red Sox. That is athleticgreens.com/Red Sox to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. I wanted to bring something up about Xander Bogaerts. Xander Bogaerts, what did you say it was, Pete? Is 8 straight multi-hit games?
8 straight multi-hit games.
8 straight multi-hit games. And for some reason, and I know the reason, there's a narrative that Xander Bogaerts is having a down year. And to be honest with you, that's wrong. He finished today, another multi-hit game. He's now tied for the batting title. He's hitting .317 on the year with a .384 on base percentage. Obviously, the slug is down. It's .470. But it's still an .854 OPS. His OPS is .854 for the year. And he's having one of his best defensive seasons that he's ever had in his entire career, because that's something that he works. He's having the best defensive season that he's ever had in his entire career. That is something that he has worked tirelessly to be able to do, get better defensively. But yeah, I mean, the one knock on this guy is, he's had a dip in homers. Okay. He has 37 doubles. That is 4th in the big leagues. Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson, Jose Ramirez, Xander Bogaerts, who is in a 3-way tie. This is weird. Xander Bogaerts is in a 3-way tie for the 4th most doubles in the big leagues with JD Martinez and Rafael Devers.
I think Verdugo's 6th on that list as well.
Alex Verdugo has 34 doubles. Yeah. So I just wanted to point that out, because I think that once a narrative gets developed, everyone, like, if someone just says something and it's true in June, it just carries for the rest of the year. And people will just say that without even looking at the numbers. Be like, yeah, Xander's having a down year. Yeah, he's having a down year. Yeah, he's not very good right now. All right, well, things changed. Now he's having a good year again. Okay. 850 something OPS. He's right up there in doubles. The only thing he's not doing is hitting homers. The defense has been outstanding. I mean, if you're one of these people that's like, we need to move on from Xander Bogaerts. And I know I'm like the people that listen to this podcast, there might be a very, very, very small community of people that feel that way. But to reaffirm anyone that's listening, that's like, what, am I crazy for wanting Xander Bogaerts back? No, you're actually really smart. You're actually really smart.
I'll be honest. I saw some prominent members of the Bluminati that have been very critical of Xander Bogaerts' lack of power. They've completely turned the tide the last week or two. They're like, I was wrong. Listen, if you really want to talk about it, like you said, Bogaerts, it's 854 for the OPS now.
Yep.
Last year, 863. The year before that, 867.
Okay.
He's right there. And that defense, as you want to know how great it is, 86th percentile outs above average. That's not just good. We're getting to elite defensive territory here.
Yeah. I think he's he may have cracked the top 10 in FWAR.
Yeah, he's right on that borderline, I believe.
In the majors. Not just the American League. In the majors. Xander Bogaerts might be 11th in FWAR this year.
Yeah, so I understand like the point that you're making, and I agree. Like, he's having a good season, and like, I'm willing to give him a pass on the RBIs because, as I said today, hitting's fucking contagious. If nobody in the lineup is hitting, like the hitting is going to be tougher on a case by case basis, and your RBI numbers are going to dip because you're not knocking in as many people, especially if you're not hitting home runs. The thing that I kind of am looking at with the home run numbers, like, it's totally fine if he's going to be like a 15 home run guy per year. Like, you'll take that if he's hitting fucking 315, 320 and at the top of the American League. You'll absolutely take that. But you don't want to pay him as a guy who is like a 20, 25, 30 home run guy who also hits 300, because that takes you into another echelon of player. And especially like as he's heading into his 30s, like, you don't want to be paying for that if that's not what you're getting. So like, it's more, I guess, like, for me, I want to know like more, is this the player that he is now?
I think,
or is the power going to come back?
I think even in the month of August, we've seen him drive the ball again, which even to the opposite field, I think, let's be real, there's a moment you can go back to this season and say, all right, he hasn't been healthy. And he's basically said that now. Alex Cora has said it. And it's when he collided with Alex Verdugo on left field. Whatever happened, he needed shots in his shoulder to continue playing. You know, I'm not saying that's the only reason, because we've seen a tick down in power for 4 straight years, but that seems to have played a pretty significant part in what was going on. I think what he does the next couple of weeks, if he can continue to hit for power like we've seen lately, that will go a long way. But, you know, we're talking over his last 11 games. He's 22 for 44. He's hitting 500. Like, that is absurd. I don't know. I do think the power, that's a conversation. I think teams will look at it. But at the same time, if he walks away from this year with the batting title, which he's basically tied for right now, that market, it's going to be serious. You know, teams are going to be showing up, and you're telling me now he plays, well above average defense at shortstop. That's a serious, player that teams are going to be in on.
He's
the
hitting
power
500
thing might actually be like
games.
the power thing might actually be like a blessing in disguise, honestly. Like, because again, it takes you into another echelon if you're hitting like 25 home runs and leading the league in batting average. And if you're doing that in a contract year, like the way that this team operates, like, he might fucking price himself out of the Red Sox if he had 25 home runs. Hate to think that way because they're the fucking Red Sox, but
I don't think you're crazy though. Like, if he gets into that 30, we heard it, 33 to 35 million per year, Corey Seager tier, that's scary. That's not a good place to be at. I don't think he's going to get that high considering his age. I think it's going to be closer to, 27 to 30. And I think at that price, the Red Sox should pay him. I think you have the money to pay him because, like we said right now, you start to picture this infield of Devers, Bogaerts, Story, and Casas moving forward. You have a team that's going to compete no matter what you want to say. And yes, they have holes they need to fill. With money to spend, they can compete with any team in baseball. With an infield like that, you have a chance. You let Bogaerts out that door, this situation becomes a lot harder. You're putting in jeopardy your situation with Rafael Devers. I think for Bogaerts, in a year where the team is kind of going down in the hole, he's showing up. He's showing up right now. He struggled at the beginning of August. There's no doubt about that, but he's in the middle, if not leading this, hot streak / fighting, punch back from the Red Sox.
Tyler, you're a smart baseball guy.
Thank you.
What would you say today, September 4th, 2022? What would you say the odds are that Xander Bogaerts is the starting shortstop of the Boston Red Sox on opening day 2023? What would you say the odds are?
I would go. I'm above 50%. I'd probably go. I want to go 70. I don't know if I have the balls to do it, but I will go 65.
Okay. So 65% chance that Xander Bogaerts is your starting shortstop in 2023. If they pay Xander Bogaerts, does that mean that they also got something done with Rafi over the winter? Or do you think that Xander could be back, but we're now entering a season where we're just doing it all over again, where we're having one of the star players have to play out the string without a contract going into free agency?
I don't think Chaim Bloom and the Red Sox would do that to themselves again. This year has been a nightmare on that front. PR-wise, clubhouse-wise, players speaking out, Bogaerts looking, down and stressed at times. I would not want to put that on a young player like Rafael Devers and Buster Olney, even someone who sat here and listen, he hasn't had a report that has been close to what's been going on with the Red Sox in a long time. He was saying Chaim Bloom was on the hot seat after 2020. Just no feel for what's going on over there. Even he's admitting, the Red Sox are going to pay Rafael Devers. I think we go into this offseason, the Red Sox lock both of them in, and they're saying, all right, this is the direction we're going in for the next couple of years. We can't walk this line anymore. And let's be real, Devers' price is going up, up, and up. You let him get to this free market at his age, it's not going to be a fun conversation for anybody. And you let Rafael Devers walk. Say what you want about Xander. There's a world where you can say, all right, Xander's going to be on the other side of 30 here. He's declining. It's Rafael Devers is soaring up. We haven't even seen the best of him yet. Now he's finally getting hot for again, snapped the 0 for 24 starting on Thursday night. We see how this team goes when he starts hitting as well. I can't picture the Red Sox not getting something done with both of them. I really believe both of them will be locked in here and they'll be kind of the faces and the leadership that we've seen the last couple of years, but even beyond that is the next wave of Bello, Casas, and all these different prospects start to come up.
The thing that gives me the most confidence at this point is like the heat that has kind of picked up with Chaim. And not to say that I want like Chaim to be signing desperation contracts in order to save his job, but I think when there's more of a desperation or there's more of a hey, like, gotta win this year or like gotta be competitive and respectable this year or else it may be somebody else's team next year. I think that does light a fire under your ass and it does make you want to at least install a vision and install a plan. And my hope is heading into 2023 that the plan becomes more clear and the vision becomes more clear. And again, like this is the first weekend where I've been like, ooh, we got some vision here. Like I'm starting to see it a little bit. I hope that like this winter, there are steps to do that and steps to solidify that. And obviously locking up Xander and locking up Devers would take that off of the plate and make things a little bit more clear and let you focus on what you have and how to build on it rather than how to salvage it and make sure it doesn't escape you for an entire another year.
I think that's exactly it. And I think there's been some telling stuff. I know the last month really with Christian Arroyo getting hot, the conversation we had at Jared, me and you, is there a reality where Trevor Story's at shortstop, Christian Arroyo's at second? I think you had it vice versa, Jared, but whatever it may be. I think seeing now that Christian Arroyo is moving back into a utility role, that tells you what they view him as, what they think is that, that's the best role for him. It makes too much sense. You look back to Ben Cherington and, going into 2015, his panic was to sign Pablo and Hanley. It's so much simpler for Chaim Bloom. It really is. You just got to pay the two guys that are right here. If you pay Rafael Devers and Xander Bogaerts, that will buy you a lot of goodwill with this fan base. As bad as this year has been, as stressful and the criticism that is fair, some criticism that's unfair, you get both of them locked up here and you don't have to worry. This whole organization no longer has this, look upon them that they don't pay their homegrown stars, that they're cheap or whatever it may be. I think a lot of the tune changes here. And like Pete said, you can see how this can all come together for them to be a really good team the next couple of years. You just got to pay Xander, and he's not going to break your balls. He's not. He just wants fair compensation. This isn't a guy who's going to make you pay top of the market value. I do not believe that. You just can't insult them like you did before. And I think Chaim Bloom, how many times are you going to double down on it that you're going to pay them, that you want them here? It's like they're making an effort to continue to say it. You're only setting yourself up for a PR disaster. And I think even the Red Sox responding like they did to Jared about the Chaim Bloom stuff, they're terrified of any more PR disasters this year with how things have gone. I can't see them bringing another one on themselves.
I'm with you. I think it would be. I don't know how you can repair that, especially coming off the Mookie Betts trade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that you can repair not bringing back Xander Bogaerts, and then also if you were to go into next season with Devers not having a contract,
because that was the justification of the Mookie Betts trade,
right?
Was that like,
but now you can pay guys.
This helps you keep these guys, like.
Right.
If you're not paying any of them, what the fuck are we doing here?
You got JD off the books now, or, going into next year. David Price, half that contract off the books now. You have the room to do it. There's really no excuse there. And I think Xander, even in a year where he's not fully healthy and fully himself, is still showing, hey, I'm one of the best hitters. I'll find a way. If I can't hit for power, I'll go get that fucking batting title. I'll go become, one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball. Yeah. Like, I'll find a way to give you that value.
That honestly might be like more impressive than anything too. Is we talked about like a couple weeks ago, like Albert Pujols reshaping his game to stay in the league, to give himself another shot. Like guys who can adjust and extend their careers. That's fucking impressive. Like obviously Xander's not extending his career at 29 years old, but it shows that he has the ability to adapt to what is being put in front of him and what his physical limitations are, whether it's an injury, whether it's old age. Like if you have the ability to adapt and adjust and give yourself a chance to compete day in and day out, that's going to give you longevity and it's going to give you a longer career and it's going to give you a better career. So I like to see that.
You have a guy in Xander Bogaerts who went and called Trevor Story and persuaded him to come here. A guy that could be taking his job at that time, who the Red Sox were saying, we're going to give this guy the money and not you. And he still was willing to go and make those calls to get that guy here. That kind of recruiter, that kind of leader, that kind of player that's respected across the league, where Trevor Story even talked about and said, like, this guy's just on a different level. You can't throw that away. Don't throw that away. You need some goodwill in that clubhouse because those players are talking. They are sending things out to the media. Word is getting out. If you let that guy go, Chris Sale spoke out. Alex Verdugo spoke out. Alex Cora saying today, I just want my kids to be able to watch Xander Bogaerts here in the future. Like, if you want him around, if you don't want him to say, yeah, I'm good managing, I'm ready to go enjoy my life and my kids, this is how you keep all these pieces together. And yeah, maybe you have to pay a little bit more. Maybe the last 2 years of that deal aren't the best. But does it open up, the next 3 or 4 years where you can really compete for a World Series, where Chaim Bloom can, put himself in a better light and have some real job security? I don't know how you spit on that, because I think going to pay Dansby Swanson, what is that going to get you? You know what I mean? Like, I'll take Xander Bogaerts over him. Even Carlos Correa, who not hitting for the same power he did a year ago. Listen, Bogaerts is showing it with the glove. If you told me a year ago, well, I want Correa because he's a Gold Glove, platinum glove shortstop. Okay, like I could hear that argument. Xander Bogaerts is doing it with the glove. And I think Trevor Story being here is a big part of that, obviously, but it's working. The shifting's working. The work he's put in is benefiting him. Why? It's so sometimes the easy answer is the right answer. Don't overthink this one, because if you overthink it in a year, I would guess that, Heim is not going to be in a good position with the Red Sox, could be out of a job. And then the organization will be sitting there saying, how the hell did we let this last offseason go and throw away our franchise icon, someone we call our Derek Jeter?
I mean, they did a whole fucking segment on it on the broadcast, like Dennis Eckersley was saying. Like
everyone, how many people have to beg?
I don't know.
Anyone near this team has begged them to pay Xander Bogaerts.
I just don't know, is there an internal conversation going on where the majority is in favor of not bringing him back? Like, who are these people? They're like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this Bogaerts guy, I don't know if I've seen enough. I don't know if it's legit. This whole
there's just some dude who just shows up fucking blitz to every team meeting in the back and is just like, this guy sucks.
Yeah,
trash.
Like even
it's just a fucking like nephew of like a minority owner.
Yeah.
The fuck is this guy in the room?
Even the analytics guys, like who picked apart his defense, I was one of them. It's there. What do you say? There's nothing left to say. He's playing amazing shortstop. Another great play today in the 8th inning. I want to watch him and Trevor Story up the middle for the next 5 years. That's what I want. I think that's what all Red Sox fans want right now. I want this infield. Yeah, it's a lot of money for the infield. Figure out the outfield. Do what you got to do. This infield right here with someone like Christian Arroyo, who, Bogaerts is broken down. He's getting older. He's broken down in the middle of the season before we know. The numbers have sometimes faded in the second half. Well, great. You have someone who can fill in and you can rotate Xander in that DH spot. Same for Devers. Same for Trevor Story. Same for Triston Casas. However you want to do it. You take JD out. There's ways to give guys breathers and get them off their feet. This is the way to do it. You can help preserve Xander Bogaerts and keep him fresh moving forward. Take advantage of it. Because if you don't, some other team will. And I promise you will be one of the best teams in baseball.
It's pretty simple to me.
I can't watch Xander Bogaerts as the Dodgers shortstop.
Or the Cardinals.
I'll kill myself. The Cubs. Jed Hoyer saying, hey, I remember watching young Xander.
Yeah, come on home. Mm-hmm.
We need someone to be our leader, our John Lester. Mm-hmm. Another John Lester for this next core.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Red Sox going to throw another guy away and let him, maybe one day go into the Hall of Fame wearing our cap and not the Red Sox one?
Mm. I don't want to talk about that.
Nope.
But I did want to point out that Xander was having a far better season than I think some folks may have realized. That's all. And I think it's time. That we pick a Klark's Ketchup Series MVP.
Can I hit on one thing before we do?
Please.
Brayan Bello. I feel like we got to hit on that. What, 6 innings, no runs, balled out his last 20 innings. It's a 3.15 ERA, 2.47 FIP. I think he's on his path to basically locking himself into the rotation for next year. I thought that was one of the biggest bright spots of this past weekend. He's taking that step forward, and we're seeing it. He got better as that outing went along. How are you not hyped about that?
I'm very hyped. 6 innings, shutout. What do you have? 5 strikeouts?
Yep.
5 strikeouts. Just looked like he belonged. He was pitching with confidence. Eck was talking about that. He's like, oh, he's feeling himself out there. He's feeling himself in this one.
Took a tick off the fastball and the slider as well, and it looks like he had better command because of it.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be a guy. I know, the Rangers aren't good, but they can score runs. They can hit.
Hey, he had no problem against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they got guys that can hit. Fucking Seager, Simeon, Garcia. They can hit a little bit. But now it's time.
Yeah.
Coley?
Yeah.
It's, you know what time it is.
The Rangers are the worst team in baseball history. I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, they're not.
Pathetic,
they're not
pathetic
very good,
franchise.
particularly. No.
2.
Yeah.
We should play them more, I would argue.
I mean, aren't we going to play them more next year, right? Isn't that how the schedule is going to work?
I don't know, dude. What am I, a schedule maker?
I mean, you could be.
We're going to play everybody.
Yeah, play everybody.
That would make me think we're going to play them less. Or the same.
Yeah, we'd probably play them the same. You're right.
I don't know why. You're going to play everybody. That's the Rangers 162. Everyone knows that's what that means.
I'd love to play the Rangers more often. That team stinks.
Terrible.
Pathetic, even.
Yeah, they're pretty pathetic.
Forever. Like, even Nelson Cruz, like, he's become so cool after the fact, which is really so shocking because that was one of the biggest choking moments I've ever seen in sports.
Yeah, you talking about the 2011 World Series?
The very same.
Yeah, he dropped that fly ball, huh?
I don't even know if you can say he dropped. He was like terrified of it.
Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with it.
And then he got popped for steroids, and then he's just been fine. Like, I've never seen anyone. It's because he was associated with the Texas Rangers. That's how little respect people have for the Rangers.
Right. I mean, they've
Like,
never
no one
won a
cares.
World Series before.
No, and they came so close.
A couple times.
They were in back-to-back, weren't they?
Yeah, they actually weren't close at all in 2010. I think they lost in 5 games. But then in 2011, weren't they like a strike away twice?
The Cruz catch would have ended the game, I'm pretty sure.
That's tough.
It's real tough.
They made the playoffs 8 times in 60 plus years.
Yeah.
8 times. For a team that spends a lot of money.
Well, they're trying out the spending the money thing now, but I wouldn't say that they're known for
I
spending.
mean, they gave an outrageous contract to Alex Rodriguez. Like,
Yeah,
15
then they
years
traded
ago.
him immediately after he performed. They're like, "You're doing awesome. Get the fuck out of here."
Then they also let John Daniels spend all this money this offseason and said, get the fuck out. 3/4 of the way through this year.
Yeah. See, the problem is you give all that money to A-Rod, $252 million, and he goes out there and wins you an MVP and hits 50-something homers. And then you trade him for Alfonso Soriano. And you cannot give whatever it was, $300-something million to Corey Seager and then trade him for anything of value. But like, who the fuck wants Corey Seager's massive contract right now? Or Marcus Semien? Nobody. So
all I'm saying is that it seems like they care about winning and they don't do any of it.
Yeah, no, they could not be worse.
Like, at least
It
the
makes me
Pirates
worried
know
for,
that
like,
they suck.
Kumar Rocker.
Yeah, and Jack Leiter. Well, they will be the saviors of that franchise.
In that, or they'll just fall right in line with everyone else that walks through that hellhole.
I don't know. I could see.
You love Jack Leiter, we know.
I love Jack Leiter. I could see Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter being the era of, but like by the time that they're up there and slicing and dicing, it's like Simeon's going to need a walker to get to the plate. They signed him until he's like 53.
Rocker's arm may just fall clean off the bone, though. Like, if he had gone somewhere else, I'd believe him more. But now he's tied with the Rain. You know what it is? They just, everything about them just so boring. They're named after the whole state. Boring.
Mm-hmm.
Their uniforms boring.
Mm-hmm.
Their new stadium, what it looks like a fucking toaster or something.
Looks like a plane hangar.
At least when like Vladdy, Josh Hamilton, and Michael Young and the fellows were there.
Nelson
I don't
Cruz.
know why those are the 3 that came to mind. But
Those are the best
like,
How
players
about
in the
this
team.
one? How about this one? Juan Gonzalez.
That was way before. That was like,
Yeah, I
It
know,
was
but that was the epitome, or that was the peak of Rangers coolness.
Juan Gonzalez is sneaky the best baseball player of all time. When you look at his numbers, we used to joke about anytime LeBron would do something crazy statistical, it would be like him, Wilt, and then Fat Lever for some reason. If you look at power hitters, especially like first half numbers every year, anytime someone has a crazy season, they're like, "Yep, this is the first time since Juan Gonzalez." Like he was, and I've searched Twitter high and low. There's one video the Texas Rangers have ever tweeted about Juan Gonzalez, and he's maybe their best hitter of all time.
What's the deal with that?
It's 40 plus home runs 5 times.
They've got no love for Juan Gonzalez?
None.
That's crazy. Juan Gon, it was like Juan Gon, Pudge, Rafael Palmeiro. Like those were the days.
Oh my God. There was a 5-year, 6-year span where Juan Gonzalez finished with 144 RBIs, 131 RBIs, 157 RBIs, 128 RBIs, had a little bit of a down year with 67 RBIs, and then bounced back with 140 RBIs.
Did they make the playoffs in any of those years?
I don't know.
Probably not.
But
probably not. I mean, the Rangers, they fucking stink.
They're the Rangers.
But holy fuck, the average was there too. 325, 326, 318, 296, 314.
I mean, Pete, that's when baseball was baseball. This isn't this isn't this new garbage where you get to hit 180 and be an all-star. This was real deal baseball that Juan Gon was playing.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like pick one thing that you're good at and we'll love you. Like Juan Gonzalez is like, bitch, I am doing everything and you won't even tweet about me.
You won't even tweet about Yeah, what's the deal with that? I'm gonna look at their Twitter right now. When's the last time you fucking assholes? Like, I hope even Red Sox fans just start tweeting at the Rangers, being like, tweet about Juan Gonzalez, you assholes.
He gets no love, but they'll post about Josh Hamilton 8 times a fucking month. Still, no matter what, he will get the love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an advanced Twitter search.
Juan Gonzalez. They tweeted about Juan Gonzalez on July 5th, 2021. Juan Gonzalez, 100. He had 101 RBI before the All-Star break in 1998.
That's why I searched him this year, because Judge he judged it this year, and they were like, "You're first since Juan Gonzalez," and I was like, "Wait a minute, I feel like I've heard more about this." And then I checked this at the Rangers account, and they don't give a fuck about their best play.
Here it is.
He's a 2-time MVP.
They tweeted about Juan Gonzalez on June 9th, 2015. Your 2015 Texas Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame inductees are Juan Gonzalez and Jeff Russell. So he doesn't even get his own tweet for the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. This is July 11, 2015. Congratulations to Juan Gonzalez and Jeff Russell, the 2015 class of Texas Rangers Hall of Fame. Then they replied. This is a reply to some slapdick on Twitter. They replied, Rougned Odor is the 5th Ranger to hit 30 plus home runs in a season at 22 or under. And someone said, who are the other 4? And obviously Juan Gonzalez was one of them. So he got a reply. So now we're up to 3 tweets if you count a reply.
Also, what year did he retire?
2005.
2005.
And then right after
10 years.
Yeah, then so right after
into the Rangers Hall of Fame,
I guess. And then there's the one that I just mentioned, 101 RBI before the All-Star break, and it's a video of that. And then on July 12th, 2022, on this day in 1993, Juan Gonzalez secured the Home Run Derby title. And it's just it's a fucking video of him socking homers in the Derby. So the Texas Rangers have tweeted about Juan Gonzalez twice. There's 2 Hall of Fame tweets, but he doesn't even get his own love. There's a reply where he's one of 4 other guys to accomplish something. There's the 101 RBI before the All-Star break, and then there's a home run derby video. So the Texas Rangers, as of right now, have tweeted about Juan Gonzalez and just Juan Gonzalez 2 times.
He has as many MVP awards in a Rangers uniform as he does tweets from the Rangers account.
Yes.
Want to know something hilarious too? He's a 3-time All-Star with 2 MVP awards and was not an All-Star one of the years that he won MVP.
That's insane.
I want to know how the fuck that happened.
This is like
He finished with 47 home runs, 144 RBIs, and hit 314, and somehow did not make the All-Star team that year.
yeah, that's insane.
This might be one of the most intriguing careers in baseball history.
Something's up. Something smells funky about this.
Yeah, before Tom Hicks sold the team, he basically accused him of taking roids, like publicly, and said the way his career ended and how his numbers fell off, basically something doesn't add up here.
Who cares?
So I wonder if I agree, but I wonder if
for
that's
real.
what it is. Like if that's the weird relationship issue between both sides.
I mean,
What,
from
what
91
position did he
to
play?
01.
Was he a designated hitter? Outfielder.
I think played outfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
From
played
91 to
outfield,
01.
Played right field.
From 91 to 01, he was hitting. His 162 pace was 188 hits, 44 home runs, 140 ribbies, and he slashed 298, 347, 572. That's a 919 OPS for a decade. Like he probably was on the juice just because it was the 90s, but that's not a dip. Like that's a decade of absolute dominance.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And then he turned 32. Like that's what used to happen to people when they turned 32. They died.
They died.
Not wrong.
I did not expect to go on a Juan Gonzalez tangent tonight, but I'm happy that we got there.
People need to know.
I mean, I'm happy that I'm more enlightened about this. I think that the Twitter thing was very eye-opening to me.
All right, so I think I know what happened here. One of his agents, and this is on his baseball reference page, his name was Bob Gahuli. So you can't be associated with Bob Gahuli.
Right.
That had to have been it.
It's definitely funky.
One of his nicknames was Igor. What? Why do they hate this guy?
Whoa. March 19th, 2006, signed as a free agent with the Boston Red Sox.
The Red Sox had Juan gone?
The Red Sox signed Juan Gon in 2006, but he never played in the MLB after 2005. So
What the fuck? I don't remember that
Carlos
at all.
Delgado all over again.
Yeah, Delgado.
wait, the Red Sox signed Carlos Delgado?
Yeah, dude.
What? Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
There's a secret Tyler Milliken Twitter account out there from when I was like 9 years old going nuts about that signing when it
Oh,
happened.
dude, I love
too.
Carlos Delgado.
I'm going to search my tweets right now. I bet you I got Delgado.
Me and Carlos
tweets.
Delgado share the same birthday.
I have the same birthday as Amanda Bynes. Delgado. Let's see. I probably have some fired Delgado takes.
Yeah, August 7th, signed as a free agent with the Boston Red Sox.
Yep. I tweeted, the Red Sox have signed Carlos Delgado to a minor league contract. That was it.
Electric.
Party like it's 1999. Red Sox signed Carlos Delgado to a minor league deal. I just noticed that Carlos Delgado will be wearing number 21 tonight for the Paw Sox. Could the Red Sox finally be moving on from Clemens? No.
Sure.
Nailed it.
No fucking chance. Oh, what a headline. September 2nd, 2010. Delgado, no. Carlos Delgado suffers season-ending injury.
Oh,
How about Delgado, no?
I thought he struck out to lose the game.
No, he's dead.
Just dance on his career ending.
Yeah.
Let me get this joke off real quick.
Yeah.
Also, I Googled Juan Gonzalez Red Sox and not a single picture pops up.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been. July 20th, 2014, I tweeted, am I the only one who's still pissed that Carlos Delgado never got the chance to get called up by the Red Sox in 2010? Yeah, I mean, shit. It's too bad. I would have loved that.
In 05, Juan Gon's last official season, he got one at bat with Cleveland. 0 for 1. Then he just said, fuck this. And he's done. Minus 1,000 OPS plus, or minus 100 OPS plus. Never seen it in my entire life.
Just one at bat was like, nah, this isn't for me.
He didn't even strike out. Like, that's what I expected to see. Just, no, we grounded a second. He was like, you know what? Fuck this.
Home runs are nothing. I quit.
Delgado, no.
I do like that under the nicknames thing, it says Juan Gon or Igor.
Same thing.
One of those for sure seems better.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, Xander Bogaerts is the Clark's Ketchup Series MVP.
If there's another take, so help me God.
Xander Bogaerts in this series hit .563. He played. He was one of 4 players to play in all 4 games. It was Bogaerts, Devers, Verdugo, and Pham. And he hit .563 with a .611 on base percentage, an 11.1 walk rate, a 1361 OPS, and a 600 BABIP. So I would say Xander Bogaerts. Is anyone not voting for Xander Bogaerts? Jake?
I was maybe going to toss a vote to Juan Gonzalez.
I mean, I'll. How about a ketchup packet for Juan Gonzalez?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Him and Trevor Story.
That.
Yeah, ketchup packet for Trevor Story, ketchup packet for Brayan Bello.
The jug, the truckload of ketchup Xander is getting compared to these packets cannot be over.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. Story definitely gets a nice juicy ketchup packet though. I mean, he had himself a great series. Casas gets a ketchup packet for getting his first big league knock in his major league debut on Sunday. And how about John Schreiber with a ketchup packet for being a dog in that series for the Red Sox?
I'll also throw one to Connor Wong for his first home run and 3 walks today. And he threw out a runner.
And he threw out a guy. That was a terrible throw. It was just a nice tag, but I'll take it.
Did you say Bello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we don't often have a unanimous. I don't think we've had a unanimous Clark's Ketchup Series MVP. So I don't know if this is true, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Congratulations to Xander Bogaerts on the first unanimous Clark's Ketchup Series MVP of the season. Coley, were you clapping or you got a baby or something?
I was clapping.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was checking. I couldn't hear it.
The Red Sox got another top 100 prospect added today.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, you knew about this and you didn't fucking say anything?
Oh, actually, I legit just saw it about 10 minutes ago. But since
okay.
it is Coley's favorite, I will allow him to have the honors.
Okay.
The Chipper, our pal, Cedon Rafaela, sneaks into the back end of the top 100. per MLB pipeline. It's almost disgusting that this is how he has to get in there. It's kind of like how Casas' first rip wasn't his first hit, but like an infield single was, like him sneaking into the top 100 like this when he's clearly deserving of being comfortably in there. Doesn't sit right with me, but we'll take it.
I mean, I fucking love this guy. The size is what worries me a little bit. But outside of that, I mean, like, just, look at him play baseball. Who gives a shit how big he is?
Yeah, unless he's going to play some like low post defense, I don't really care about his size.
Where is he right now? High A?
No,
Rafaela? Portland.
Oh,
I love everything. The only thing that concerns me is the plate discipline. That's it at the moment. I just need to see a slightly better approach. It's a little Ronaldo Hernandez like, where it's a lot of contact, but not a lot of walks whatsoever. That usually profiles more in a utility way, but we just saw Adolis Garcia come here. And, well, Rafaela doesn't have the same power as maybe him. That's probably the profile. Better defender, but the similar profile hitter-wise you're looking for.
Yeah, him being as dominant a defender as he is, that's why I see him as more than utility.
Yeah. I think for a team like the Red Sox will lean heavy into that as well.
Yeah. I mean, you could play him anywhere, but I do think he's an everyday glove. Like, you see a guy like Kike who has never been a high average guy at any point really in his career. Maybe 1 year with the Dodgers, but if his glove's good enough to keep him in the field, I don't see any. Like, well, we've talked about it before. The one knock on Rafael is people immediately compared him to Mookie for really no reason whatsoever. If that had never happened, I think more people would just kind of appreciate how unique he is.
100%. And he just joined the 2020 club. What was it today with his homer? So now you throw him into that category. Yeah. If he can keep that kind of power up with the speed, he'll be an everyday player, even if he's not a high OBP guy, but definitely one of the more high or more exciting ceiling guys. And listen, for an organization that hasn't had any interesting, or, let's be real, any outfield prospects that have panned out yet in the upper minors, he's probably your next best shot. But hey, if you need someone to play shortstop, he'll also go give you Gold Glove defense there as well.
I have an interview that we might have lined up at some point in the offseason that I said I would wait for Coley to be a part of it. Outside of the Heim interview. You know who that would be, Coley? That would be of interest to you?
It's going to be Xander.
I mean, that would be a pretty big get. That's all. I think he'd do it. I've just honestly never asked. The last time I talked to Xander about coming on the podcast was that winter weekend in 2019 before the world went to shit. I think he was open to it. It was just like, I don't know. He's not shy. It's just like, I don't know if he just like has.
We've talked about it. He's been on media lockdown ever since his last tweet.
Yeah.
Was that the girl one?
L. Yeah.
L.
Yeah.
What an icon.
Was that really his last tweet? Did he just delete his Twitter and then never came back?
Yeah.
He deleted it like 2 minutes after the fact.
I love that. I love that so much.
Didn't delete the tweet. He just shut the whole thing down. He was like, never again.
Never again. And he's been gone ever since.
That's amazing.
L.
It might be my favorite athlete tweet. There's so many good ones, but that one, everything about it was so perfect. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah. Just
tweeting a booty pic. L.
Do you know what we're talking about, Tyler?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen the tweet, Jake?
No, I was just trying to find it.
I got it somewhere.
Also, not talked enough about the pose to take that booty pic.
Yeah, she was like sitting on a sink, right?
He's sitting on a sink and taking it with the offhand. like not the hand closest to the mirror. She wraps her arm completely around her body like she's fucking Gumby and takes it in the mirror. Like just Google Xander Bogaerts tweet and it popped first result. And this girl's arm is just fucking.
She was like a contortionist for no reason.
Yeah.
No reason.
Xander, I mean, I'm sure offline he spoke to her one-on-one, gave her the proper technique. Like, this is how you get a dub, not now.
Xander Bogaerts a sock guy or no sock guy?
I could see him being a sock guy.
Incredible headline. Xander Bogaerts tweets picture of woman in thong, comma, promptly deletes Twitter account.
What website is that?
The Big Lead.
Smashed. He's like, how do I? He threw his phone into the house. He's like, I'm never using technology again.
What was that? 2014?
Yeah,
Probably.
2014.
April 16th. 11:22 p.m.
I was gonna say it was late. I know it was late.
I know that it was like a what's that stupid fucking video game? Fortnite. I know that it was a Fortnite reference, but I just whenever he did like the L celebration after every double, I was like, I hope that's a callback to that tweet.
I never even considered it was anything but a callback to the tweet.
Right. It's like you have to.
If you actually,
it's like, hey, I know that I don't think it was his idea, but I think it was someone who had seen the tweet or knew about the tweet. It was like, hey, anytime that you get a double, just throw that L back at us.
I mean, when we were in Brock's house, I brought it up, and like it was clearly a sore subject still, or at least for outsiders to be talking about. They definitely still talk about it.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, because remember Brock was like, "This is a real awkward question." Like he was not ready for it at all.
Damn, I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to go back. That was on what, section 10?
I don't know if we can say that.
I mean, I'm asking you what podcast that conversation took place.
I would have had to.
That was section 10, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can't be dead man.
Interesting. We actually played some audio from section 10 earlier on this episode.
It's going to cost you millions.
Millions. Damn. I guess we can do the stop and shop look ahead. Before we do that, I saw that there was a topic of discussion on the section 10 Reddit page where some folks were debating whether or not they wanted the Red Sox to lose these games against Tampa.
It's a good debate.
To fuck over the Yankees. I mean, people forget when the Red Sox collapsed in 2011, it was because the Yankees had a 7-0 lead on the Rays and then just were like, hey, you know what? Your turn. And then they just blew the game.
Evan Longoria, that bitch.
Yeah, they just blew the fucking game. So the Yankees essentially just got out of the way so that the Rays could come back and win that game and then effectively put the nail in the coffin on the Red Sox collapse. So I'm not saying, because then I don't know. I feel like that gives the Yankees too much power that I want the Red Sox to lose so that it hurts them. I don't want the Red Sox. I want the Red Sox to win. Because
honestly, I think the Yankees suck so bad they don't need the Red Sox to
agreed
to lose. Like it's gonna happen. You can't stop fate, and the Yankees just suck so much ass that they're gonna blow it anyway.
All I want is more of this weekend where we feel like we're getting answers. We feel like we can start to see the vision for 2023 and beyond. That's all I want out of these next couple weeks, including those series. Show me what relievers will be here next year and moving forward. The Yankees, they're collapsing. Everything's burning. The house is burning for them already.
Mm-hmm.
it will continue to go down. I just want to feel good about the Red Sox when their season ends.
Coley, can you see the vision as of today? Can you see it?
I mean, this season sucked, but so the amount of people who jumped off the vision were shocking to me. I felt like it was pretty clear outside of resetting the luxury tax shit. But if they had traded Casas or done something like trade Bello, something crazy like that, I wouldn't have seen the fucking vision at all. But they very much didn't do that. And as an ardent Ben Cherington defender, sometimes the trades don't make that end up making all the difference long term. So if we had moved one of those guys, I wouldn't have seen the vision. But long before today, we knew Casas was coming. He would have been here. He would have been here long ago if he didn't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Bello would have been cooking for a while now. So it's just been a cursed season. So I think we deserve a little treat in September. Just compete.
Yeah, I can see that. It is a nice little treat. I felt good today. Like I felt like for a team that has a losing record, that's in last place, I felt like I was watching a real baseball team today. Like I didn't dread going to Fenway being like, oh, I can't believe I have to watch this fucking team. I was like, I'm pretty excited about today's game. And obviously the Casas call-up has mostly everything to do with it, but even just like we were talking about earlier, Story being back in there, seeing that infield for the first time, Casas at first, Story at second, Bogaerts at short, Devers at third, and you're looking at it and you're like, damn, we've been waiting for this. Now it's here. That's exciting. That's exciting shit.
And
that's a reason to get out of bed. It's a reason to get out of bed and get over to Fenway Park. Pete, what's your record? 5-7? 6-7?
6 and 7.
6 and 7. I don't know if you knew about this, Coley, but it was Pete's road to 30. He said he was going to go to 30 Red Sox games this year.
Oh, I'm well aware of what's going on.
Okay. And for every game that he falls shy of 30, that is one paintball that we get to shoot him with.
So you got 18 paintballs right now aimed at him?
17.
17.
Oh, yeah. I'm going off the first record you said.
Yeah.
Do they have 17 more home games?
I think he's already mathematically eliminated from being able to clinch not getting shot. Yeah.
No. What if, I mean, we're talking paths here, the September Sox are forced to be reckoned with. What if there is some 07 Rockies to this team and they just run the rest of the month? Like, do playoff games
Doesn't count. No, doesn't count. It has to be regular season.
I was gonna consider it, but Pete's like, shoot me.
That was please just give me the paintballs right now.
Yeah, freeze them first.
No, I'm a man of principle, and this I believe that is the boundaries that we set at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, Coley, I don't know what your availability is, but we have it's not a live show, it's more of a watch party coming up against the Yankees on September 23rd. It's a Friday. Would you want to come?
Potentially. I have no idea what I have on the schedule for the 23rd. It seems like it should be open.
Yeah, it's Red Sox, Yankees, September 23rd at Cask and Flagon, Jake?
At the Cask.
It's at the Cask. Cask and Flagon.
You love the Cask.
They have really good steak tips. I would say out of all the steak tips that I've had in the Fenway area, the Cask and Flagon has the best steak tips that I've had. They also have really good mac and cheese. And they're serving ice cold Blue Moons all fucking night. I was told that I couldn't swear in the Blue Moon ad, but I can say it now because it's outside of the ad. It is. It's a great choice every single fucking time. Can't say that in the read though, but outside of it, you bet your ass I can.
That one's free, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. So September 23rd, Red Sox, Yankees, cask and flagging. Jake's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Tyler, were you a maybe or you're in?
I'm in. I'll be there.
Tyler's going to be there. Pat is a maybe. I feel like it's Red Sox, Yankees, and it's a Friday, and he'll probably drink for free. So I can actually say there's a good chance he'll show up. Pete has a wedding.
Congrats, Pete.
Congrats,
It's not
Pete.
mine. No congrats needed.
No, Pete's getting married. Pete's getting married.
Thanks, guys.
Pete's getting married on the 23rd, but he said he might skip it to come to this to get to this watch party. And
who do I love more, my fiance or steak tips?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
real neck and neck there.
steak tips will always be there for you.
It's true.
Always. People get divorced. People get divorced. And
People are mortal. That's all we gotta say.
Yep.
Steak tips are immortal.
Steak tips are always going to be there, dude. The Red Sox are always going to be there. We are always going to be here. Jake, Tyler, Coley, me. Definitely not Pat. No. But we'll always be here. So, I mean, it's up to you. If you want to skip your wedding, it's September 23rd at the Cask. Red Sox, Yankees.
I'll think about it. I'll float it by my fiance.
Yeah. Honestly, if she says no, that's how you know that she's not the one anyway.
Wow.
It's a good point.
If you're like, babe, are you cool with me skipping our wedding so that I can go to this live show? And if she says I'm not cool with it, well, guess what? She's a bitch. And you should dump her.
I knew you were in a 162 bitch.
Yeah.
Take a hike.
Yeah. Yep. You should marry her just to divorce her. You should be like, all right, fine. I get it. I get it. And then you go through with the wedding, and then the next day be like, hey, by the way, fuck you. And then give her the divorce. This is for not letting me go to the party yesterday. And then divorce
Taking
her.
half your shit.
Yeah. Yep. That's how you play it. The Stop and Shop look ahead, brought to you by Stop and Shop. Michael Wacha versus Luis Patino. Rich Hill versus Drew Rasmussen. And then TBD on Wednesday. Whose spot is that supposed to be?
It's supposed to be Pavetta if he can get his calf working.
And versus Jeffrey Springs. I mean, Luis Patino, 1-1, 3.95 ERA. This is not like, what was he been hurt all year?
Yeah, he missed a large portion of the year with like an elbow injury.
Yeah, he has 7 strikeouts. That's a win. Drew Rasmussen is actually really good, 9-4, 2.70 ERA. And then Jeffrey Springs. That after all the fucking blowjob that we gave fucking Jeffrey Springs the last time he pitched against the Red Sox, like, oh yeah, he was on the 2020 Red Sox and he was, he sucked, but no one even remembers that he was on the team. But he's turned his career around with the Rays. Didn't they like hang like a 5 spot on him?
Yeah, we actually hit him, and I was the one doing a majority of the blowing. I still think about that trade. It still bothers me, but we move forward.
It bothers you? Who did they get for him?
That was Ronaldo Hernandez and Nick Sogard.
Who the fuck is Ronaldo Hernandez?
Yeah, he's a catcher at AAA. He hit first guy, can't really receive or do much behind the plate. The hope was if the whole automatic strike zone came along, he'd kind of benefit, but he can swing the bat well. He just doesn't walk much, so it's not a profile that probably works in the big leagues.
He's a catcher who can't catch, and he doesn't get on base.
But he can hit a little bit. He has some contact skills. A
No,
little
he
pop.
doesn't. I've decided that he doesn't have contact skills.
I'm okay with that. And Nick Sogard's like a fringe quadruple A player.
Okay, prediction time. I'm going to start. I'm going to go first.
It's a first.
The Red Sox are going to take 2 out of 3 in the series. The Red Sox are going to win the series. I don't love playing down in Tampa. There's a lot of bad memories there. The Rays are playing good baseball right now. They have been for quite some time. They've had a lot of help. I mean, the Yankees are fucking an abomination baseball team. But I think right now, no one's better than the Red Sox. I contemplated a sweep. I contemplated saying that, but I'm leaving some room for some trop fuckery. Some wiggle room, trop fuckery. 2 out of 3 Boston Red Sox. Coley, your prediction for this series?
So the Rays couldn't score against the Yankees. They scored 3 runs the last 48 hours. And the Yankees are bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people don't get. Like they're not particularly good. They're not good at hit. They're not good at pitch. Horrible at field. So the Rays, they're like barely scraping by against these subhumans. That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I mean, Jared, can I ask you a question?
Please.
Has Triston Casas ever lost a major league game?
No, not once, actually. 0 times.
So you're predicting he's going to lose infinitely more games than he has ever lost in his career this series?
I mean, I prefaced my 2 out of 3 by saying I wanted to say sweep. I did want to say that. It's not so much about the Red Sox as it is about the ballpark factor. If this was at home, if this was a 3-gamer at Fenway Park, I got the Red Sox in a sweep.
They can play on the moon. I'm taking Sox in 3.
Sox in 3. Sox in 3. Peter, you correctly predicted that the Red Sox would sweep the Texas Rangers in 4 games. You have a little streak building up here. I hope to see it continue with your pick right now.
Yeah. I'm going to say Sox extend the winning streak to 6 games, and then it gets snapped because I don't trust Rich Hill.
You don't trust Richie Quick Pitch?
Not particularly, no.
Not particularly. That's foolish. That's foolish, my man.
Unbeatable. Michael Wacha, fucking unbeatable. We've been over this.
Mm-hmm.
Can't lose with Wacha on the mound. Rich Hill, don't trust. Feel like the streak's going to get snapped, but I'm going to predict a series win. Sox win the first and the last, and it's a positive podcast after game 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tyler?
I'm going to go 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3!
I'm going to go 2 out of 3. I think Triston Casas, listen, his family's going to be there. They're coming to see him for the first time in the big leagues. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting him to go off. He's going to have a lot of people out there. I think we see his first homer. I like Michael Wacha.
His first homer in this series?
I do. I think he's going to do it for the family. I think they're going to come out.
2.
Wow, 2 homers, Pete. Thanks for upstaging
2
me.
homers.
But yeah, Rich Hill, I'm worried about. Nick Pivetta, whether he starts or not great. But even if he does, he gets his shit kicked in by AL East teams. That makes me nervous. But I think the offense is going to stay hot. I think Trevor Story stays hot. I'm going to take 2 out of 3, but I do think there's a tough loss in there. A frustrating one where you say.
Wasn't the 7 shutout with 11 strikeouts, wasn't that against Tampa?
That was against Tampa.
All right, so shut up.
Still, it's Rich Hill. Let's grow up, please. Can we please be mature about this?
Can you grow up? Because honestly,
no one's more grown up than Rich Hill.
Yeah,
that's true. He is 95 years old.
I'm sorry. I don't expect Rich Hill to do that again this year.
But it was Tyler. Do you understand that there's a reason why he pitched so well? It's because he throws 1 pitch per 1.3 seconds.
I do,
and he started doing that against Tampa.
And what did he do when he tried it the next start?
Who got very agitated by this, and it clearly had an effect. This is not, he didn't luck into 7 shutout innings with 11 strikeouts. He clearly had a game plan that worked against the Tampa Bay Rays offense that sucks as it is. So you can't say, oh, Rich Hill sucks against the AL East. You can't say
I said Nick Pivetta sucks against AL East.
All right, disregard everything I just said.
Thank you. Exactly. My point exactly. I just don't expect Rich Hill to go out for 7 innings. I wasn't trying to kill the guy, but at the same time, this little quick pitch strategy that was, so amazing. So everything he just tried it again and it didn't work. It didn't work in the first game.
Yeah, he went too fast that time.
Oh God! So figure it out. Okay,
he's gotta figure it out. I mean, he's you can relate. He's collecting data.
He's collecting
Wanna know
data.
a fun fact?
Talk to me.
What's that?
Rich Hill has pitched against Juan Gonzalez.
Wow.
That actually changes this entire conversation.
What are his numbers against Juan Gonzalez? Hold on. If Juan Gonzalez is hitting under 250 against Rich Hill, Red Sox win that game.
Well, this puts me in a tough spot because I lied. He has not pitched against Juan Gonzalez.
What the fuck are you doing? What is your problem, dude?
But you believed it. That's how old Rich Hill is.
What
Did
is
you just
your
say that,
problem?
hoping we wouldn't check you on it?
Oh, I just assumed that you'd be like, oh, wow, cool.
Well, I mean, to be fair, 0 is lower than 250, Jared.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, so Red Sox are going to win that. I mean, they were going to win the Rich Hill game anyway. They were going to win that game anyway. Tyler's an asswipe. Even though I don't even think he said anything about Rich Hill.
No, I was crapping more on Nick Pivetta. But I think the offense will lead them as they take 2 out of 3.
He only talked about Pivetta, and you were like, well, what about Rich Hill's last game? Fuckface.
Listen, I'm a
All right,
big time
Jared.
defender of Rich Hill.
Yeah. What are we getting from Rich Hill? Well, are we going to get what? 7 Ks or 7 innings, 15 Ks?
Hold on.
What are we doing?
No.
Tell me.
No.
Oh,
5
because
and
it's
a
so
third.
insulting to you.
5 and a third. 5 and a third. 2 earned runs. 1 walk. 6 strikeouts. That's what you're going to get from Rich Hill. And that's a win.
I don't think that's crazy. I think that's a possibility. I just don't think he's going to give you 7.
I didn't fucking say he was going to do that.
All right. Well, you thought I was talking about Rich Hill the whole time.
You said he was going to give up like 16 runs. You were like, please retire.
Go fuck yourself.
You basically said that.
Go
You
fuck
said
yourself.
that. You
Learn
said
to
that.
listen. Learn to listen.
No, dude. By the way, Coley, earlier in the program, we were
Don't
like,
bring
I
up
don't
the
know what
Sox. Don't bring up the Sox.
No, not the Sox. The
I
breast
want
milk.
respect.
No, they were talking about something. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my Snap stories, and a girl that I'm friends with from home I don't even know what it was called. It had like a pump on it. She was sucking breast milk out of herself and taking like a selfie video. But she was wearing a dress, and it seemed like a really nice like restaurant or venue bathroom. Do you think do you think that's wrong to put that on your public story, or is that just like, oh, that's funny, haha?
I think it's funny, like, for you and like your partner and like your sister. She's also done similar things. I don't know about public. I think maybe you might be in like a close friends type situation. She wants you to come milk those honkers, bud.
See, that's what I said. I said there's an element of decorum that's required for breastfeeding.
Right. Yeah. Show some class. Show some class with those milk jugs. Yeah.
When you walk in the grocery store, they don't chuck a jug of milk at you. They put it in the back. They make you walk all the way through the store to get it. They don't put it right up front.
Agreed. Show
It's
class.
like, I know baby's got to eat, but daddy's also got to look.
Right.
I mean, if you're dumping one out, I got to look.
Right.
There's no scientific proof that they have to eat.
That's true.
It's the only mammal on Earth that like can't survive 5 minutes after it's born.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. What the hell's up with that? Useless.
Baby giraffe gets born, you just fucking throw it into the Serengeti and be like, all right, it's up to you now.
It's crazy.
Fucking human babies, 3 years minimum, and they're shitting themselves still. It's pathetic.
I mean, what's your quote at? I don't think you've gone over.
That one wasn't in reference to the Texas Rangers, so I don't think it counts.
All right, that's fair.
Agreed.
Jake, prediction for this series against the Tampa Bay Rays.
I got a Red Sox sweep and Rich Hill throwing a perfect game.
Perfect game for Rich Hill.
So help me
All right,
God.
at
if Jake
least-
gets that
At
right.
I'm
least
gonna be
someone-
honest.
At least someone has a fucking brain
All right,
on this
all right.
podcast.
Jared, please stop talking so I can share this stat. Okay, thank you.
What is it?
In two starts
against American League East opponents is a 479 ERA with a fucking.
If you shut the fuck up and let me speak, I'd actually give you a stat that helped you.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Give me a stat.
He's thrown 11 innings against the Rays this year and not giving up a run. So shut the fuck up. Move forward.
That's what I'm saying, Tyler.
All right.
That's what I've been saying.
I was shitting on Nick Pivetta. I was not shitting on Rich Hill.
It sounded like you were projecting on Rich Hill.
It sounds like it if you're not fucking listening.
No. I mean,
it was so much shit for one person, it simply had to be intended for two.
Yeah. Yeah. You were masking what you were saying about Rich Hill, but you were saying it about quote unquote Nick Pivetta.
While we're all doing apologies here, and Jared isn't, but is anyone going to be like, hey, nice call, Coley, when everyone was praising Matt Barnes for striking out rookies?
Oh, no, we're not doing it. Jared actually made a stand against this. This is one thing I can agree with Jared on. He's not going to take the Matt Barnes slander for the other day.
What the fuck?
What slander? We have to burn Schreiber because this guy couldn't get out the Texas Rangers, who we all agree stink.
Coley. They botched a double play. Home plate umpire fucked him on a 2-strike curveball down that was a strike. And then he got a dinky little grounder up the third baseline. It was a swing and bunt. It was very unlucky.
Is it the story of his career?
No, it was the story of that outing. You're wrong for this.
What's his ERA? Like,
who gives
6,
a
7?
shit?
This feels oddly personal.
That's not how you evaluate pitchers. It's about heart.
No.
It's about heart, dude. ERA. What are you, a geek? Heart. That's what it's all about. This is not how this has been one of the more positive podcasts the whole fucking season. And Coley wants to be like, yeah, but Matt Barnes, though, he almost blew the game.
Listen,
did he?
12,
no.
Listen. All I've read for weeks is like, oh man, the bullpen really keeps letting Schreiber down. We're burning this guy, and all of a sudden we see another guy who does it, and this guy gets to dodge all the criticism. It just makes you go,
Listen, 12 2/3 since coming off the IL. That's a 2.84 ERA, 2.73 FIP. You know what the BABIP is? The BABIP's 3.68. That's what that little dinky infield single is. 3.68 BABIP.
BABIP.
Put the respect on backpacks.
Those were like half of Xander's RBI yesterday with dinky little hits. They matter.
Now you're slandering Xander.
It's not slander. I tweeted it out in real time. I said his worst 2 at-bats have accounted for all of our runs today. That was just a fact.
That was a fair point, actually. I did like that tweet.
Jeez.
Matt Barnes is fine.
Matt Barnes is great.
No, listen, nobody's perfect.
Tear down the team. Just keep Hill, Pivetta, Barnes. That's all we need next year.
I didn't say anything about Pivetta. That was all Tyler.
Fact or fiction? He sucks against AL East.
Who?
Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, he sucks against the AL East.
All right, thank you.
I don't care about Nick Pivetta.
Obviously not.
No. I like him, but I mean, his fucking month-by-month ERA is a goddamn sloopy doop.
No, now ERA matters.
Well, his heart hasn't been in it either.
There's one thing we know about Pivetta. It's all he's got. He's just got that Canadian heart just beating out of his chest.
Yeah. I mean, is he playing for Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic?
I don't know. Do they have a team?
Of course they do. Fucking Adam Stern played.
Well, Stearns' playing.
do you remember Adam Stern?
Yeah.
Yes, I think he's like a shit bum center fielder, like in 2006, maybe. The Sterminator. He was unbelievable. Look that up, Tyler. You know who Adam Stern is? Educate yourself.
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, look it up. Tell me it was 2006.
He was on the Red Sox in 2006.
What was his numbers?
He hit 150 with a 190 on base for this. Feels mean spirited.
Nope. Keep
Nah,
going.
that's not how I remembered it.
With a 190 on base percentage.
Yeah.
Played in 10 games, 4 total bases.
Fuck yeah, dude. And then he played for Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Yeah. Also Jason Bay.
Ryan Dempster.
Ooh, this is interesting.
But
He played for the Orioles in 2007, and then 3 years later played for the Milwaukee Brewers for 6 games. Hit a cool 0.
Is that good?
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. I would go see Adam Stern if he plays for Team Canada this year. How old is he? He's got to be what, 42?
It might be the only chance that we get to see James Paxton pitch.
Yeah, that's also true.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. How old is Adam Stern? It would say on his baseball reference page, Pete.
42 years old.
I fucking drilled that. Everything about, I don't know why I'm like an Adam Stern expert, but here we are.
We
Do you
talk
know where he
about all
played college ball?
Long gone, A Stern.
Hey, Stern. Yeah. Yeah, the Sterminator. He was something else, dude. You had to see it to believe it. If you weren't there in 06, you're living a sad, pathetic life, dude.
0 OPS plus in 2006. Gotta try to do
That's
that,
a-
baby.
that's-
You gotta work for that.
That's the good shit.
How about his OPS plus in 2010 with the Milwaukee Brewers?
Negative
Minus
100.
100.
He went out like long gone. They're pretty much the same guy when you squint.
All right.
They were like, this guy's got to be on steroids. This is the only reason that the drop off is happening this
Plummeted.
fast.
So his career WAR is negative 0.5. So he would have been a better baseball player if he actually never played.
He was never born.
You literally had a negative effect on the game of baseball. Thanks for coming out.
Imagine you're just like Adam Stern, like you haven't even thought about baseball in probably 10 years. You're just sitting at home and someone's like, hey man, you might want to sit down and listen to this podcast. They just fucking shredded you. Why? Why me? What the fuck did I do? I don't even know these guys. Yeah.
Because you exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
one of the
literal
hosts
pull
just
quote.
randomly recalled your existence and then they just did a 10-minute just roast of your life.
If he had been born
Literal-
in Topeka, Kansas, this never comes up. But
Right.
nope, had to be born in Canada.
Yep.
When Pat's not here, we just find other
pull
guys.
quote, like baseball would have been better if this guy didn't exist.
Yeah. Where is he from?
So
Is he
tough.
from Winnipeg?
London.
Canada.
London. That's not real. London's in the UK.
That's correct.
He went to college in Lincoln. Do you think that he was just like, this sounds close? I'm gonna go to Lincoln.
I bet you he regrets being born now because of this.
I do like
Pat's-
interpreting
What's
war.
Pat's career war?
Oh, it's got to be like -1. He's got to be worth negative like multiple wins. Right?
Oh, bad news for Pat.
Yeah.
He is actually less useful than Stern with the
No.
negative 0.7 WAR.
He's not.
I
Even,
do like
thought he would've
interpreting
been
war
worse
as
than
like
that.
as a guy's overall impact on baseball and not just like his team. Just be like, this guy is just like hurt the game of baseball by being involved with it.
Damn, that's too bad to hear. Because I remember the Stern era way more fondly than how it was in reality.
A lot of heart.
I mean, he had a ton of heart. There's a reason why he went on to play for his country. That was the point that I was trying to make all along. There's a reason why he went on to play for his country, and that's because he had nothing but heart. And apparently he just uses it really bad. That's okay. Jake, book Adam Stern. I want him on next week.
I want to berate him to his face. Tie him to the chair. I want to tell him how I feel.
Yeah, he has to hear these takes.
Fly him in.
Yeah. Fly him in. Yeah, we got to do it in person. Yeah. I want him here. I want him here in person for this. Book his hotel.
Lock the door.
Yeah.
Lock the door.
Yeah. Wait, we'll figure that one out. All right, that's everyone's predictions. Beautiful. It is just about midnight here on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, and the Red Sox are still the best team in baseball in the month of September. This is the start of something new, something different. It's been a hard year. It's been a long year. I know, walking around the old ball yard, a lot of people are saying, X amount of games left. People are like, I just want to get it over with. I'm not saying the team. There's people that work there, and it's like it's a daily grind, and it's obviously a lot more fun when the Red Sox are good. But right now, let's turn those frowns upside down. Red Sox are 4-0 in the month of September. They're about to take another series from the Tampa Bay Rays. They have a 1 point. Actually, no. Depending on the website, they have a 2% chance of making the playoffs. Last episode, it was a 0.4% chance. Now it's 2%. Next episode, let's see how much higher it goes from there. Could be 4%. Could be 8%. It's not going to be 100%. It's not enough time, but there's still a path to get to 100%. The path is there. You just have to believe. You have to believe in September 28th. That's what you have to do. Jake's takes?
I just can't stop thinking about the off chance Adam Stern is listening to this pod right now. And he gets to the 3-hour mark, like the first 2 hours and 50 went fine. And then out of nowhere, he just gets ripped apart.
Not as bad as Pat Light.
No.
Yeah, should he co-host?
Is that an upgrade?
He's like, yeah, man. Like, I played for the Red Sox for like 10 games and I fell in love with the city. And in my retirement, I just became a fan of the team and loved Section 10. Obviously, I came over to Name Redacted after the move. And man, I love this podcast. Wow, 3-hour piece. That's amazing. I love this show. And he makes it 2 hours and 50 minutes in and just a soul crushing segment. But I meant it as a compliment. I meant it as a compliment. I don't know if it came across that way, but that's definitely what it was intended to be. So
that's how I heard it.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people heard it that way. So I'm glad that's how it came across. All right. We'll be back. When's this series over? On Wednesday?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. We'll be back on Thursday morning for your listening and viewing pleasure on the YouTube page and on Spotify and all that shit. Appreciate you listening. I didn't even realize that this was a 3-hour piece until Jake just said that. How long has Coley been on the phone for? 1 hour and 4 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
What a grinder.
Coley's been on the phone for 1 hour and 4 minutes. Well, it's actually about to hit 5.
There it is.
There it is right there. 1 hour and 5 minute phone call for Coley.
Do I sound shirtless? Because I'm super shirtless.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have
Shirtless
guessed
is all the rage these days, though. I mean, Tristan Casas rolling around half naked out there on Fenway.
Yeah, pop the top for Tristan.
Yeah, I have as many clothes on as he did in the outfield right now.
Hot.
All right.
He's going to grow the hair out. I don't know if you guys talked about it. He's going to grow the hair back out.
He has to grow a beard.
I said today he has to grow a beard. Yeah.
Might be too young of a boy to grow a beard.
Too young.
Yeah, doesn't have that tool yet.
Real rich of me to tell somebody to grow facial hair.
Yeah, that's tough. It's a tough suggestion to make. All right. Back on Thursday morning. We'll see you then. Go Sox.
Buenas noches, amigos.